Great, so I'm going to call the meeting of the Venetian Community Development District to order. The time is 9:35 a.m. Supervisors present are in the room are Ken Smaha, Cheryl Harmon-Tarana, and Jill Pizarnik. On the phone, we have Cindy Sneezak. So I think at this point, I'll take a motion for Cindy to participate remotely.
So moved.
Second, and vote.
And vote, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Before we move to public comment, I think we're going to add one item to the agenda, Andy.
Yes. My understanding that we have a resolution for this morning related to credit cards.
Yes.
And so we'll make that business item 6K.
Okay.
So I just need a motion to amend the agenda to add that as business item 6K.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent. So before we get to public comment, I skipped the Pledge of Allegiance, which we should never do. So, gentlemen, please, and ladies, please remove your hats. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, great. So we will move into public comment. And just maybe a note on that, 6A business item and 6B another business item will have separate public comment on the budget. So we'll be opening up for that. So the first person on our public comment list is Barbara Silkworth. Morning, Barbara.
Good morning. I just have a couple of POA comments to make this morning. We will be doing some boardwalk repairs within the next few weeks, replacing boards. The boardwalk will have to be closed while that is taking place, and we will send out the appropriate notification and hope that people will follow directions and not climb over the gate or what have you while this work is taking place. Also pertinent to the subject of people coming in, unauthorized people coming into the property, some of that is occurring through short-term rentals. Short-term rentals are not allowed in the Venetian. We had one over the weekend. There is no lease for that particular street. So until we can identify the homeowner, it's kind of hard to do anything about it. But we will send out yet another reminder about the rules and regulations for rentals and that no short-term rentals are allowed. But we will need the support of the CDD in identifying the usage of amenity cards, because many of these short-term people get to use the homeowner's amenity card. And if that is tracked somehow in your system, that does give some proof of someone being here using something at that location. But some of these people just admit that, no, I'm staying at an Airbnb. You know, the person doesn't know that what they're doing, but we have to get to the homeowners on this. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Next person is Mary Palayo. Hi, morning, Mary.
Good morning.
I suspect that this is not the proper place for me to be voicing this comment, but I can't find the proper place. The swimming pool is freezing cold. I have no idea what the temperature is, but I know that the participants are not comfortable. When I mention it to anyone, they tell me I'm the only one who's cold, or they tell me it's not my job. I'd like to know whose job it is to regulate the temperature. I know when you run the heater on the pool, it costs money. I don't know if it costs money to chill the pool, but I don't understand why it's so cold that when you go, you can't get in, or you get in and you get out. One lady has bought shoes and gloves because her feet are going numb and her hands are going numb from the cold temperature. So if someone can direct me to whoever's job it is to regulate the temperature, I'm happy to talk to them. but I can't find out who that is because for right now, it's not my job. That's all I hear.
We have a general manager. Her name is Leah Warner.
Leah hasn't been here that long,
No.
and this has been going on for about 8 weeks. But I'll be happy to come and see you, Leah, or I think I've made my point here, and perhaps you could take care of it. It would be appreciated.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Mary. Next person is Mark Legg. I saw you, Mark. Where are you?
In the back. Hi, how are you?
Good morning. Good to see you.
My name's Mark and I live on Treviso. And I have a comment for the board also on, you've done some really good projects in the last couple of years. And I don't need to list them, you know what they are. The speed bumps have slowed people down, you know, instead of just blowing through the stop signs at 35, they're, 10 miles an hour now or whatever. Painting the club, road repairs, and fencing for more security. That has worked exceptionally well. I live at the apex of where the fence was. And so thank you for the projects you have done that are successful. I just wanted to mention, I'm not for the bar project you folks are looking at. It seems rather costly, and I'm not for it at all. I think there's other projects and problems in our community that need to be fixed prior to opening up a new can of worms. The air conditioning in this building still doesn't work properly. We have the cul-de-sacs in our whole community that are horrible. I live right across from one. I look at it 15 times a day, and the tree is still held up with 4x4s. A tree is not supposed to be held up for its whole life by 4x4s. Honestly. And we pay a lot of money to live here, and it's supposed to be upscale. That cul-de-sac is not upscale, and neither are any of the other ones. And if my front yard looked like that, I would get a violation notice or a fix-it notice or something. Anyway, that's all I have, but thanks for the job you do, because there are a lot of projects you do that are rather successful, but the bar I don't think is going to be one of them.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. And our last speaker is Dr. Steve Heffler. Where are you, Steve? There you are.
Good morning. I wanted to bring up two items. First, I looked through the budget and I couldn't find the line item for the proposed changes in the bar. That just might have been me. Second, looking at the survey, you had 719 responses to the member survey. 594 of the responses were for the potential changes in La Sala Bar. Of those, 51% were not at all supportive, not supportive, or neutral. 44% were supportive or extremely supportive. I think in any election, the 51% would win. So I urge you to, as your graph said, listen, learn, and improve. I urge you to listen to what your members are telling you, that they don't think, for the most part, that this is a reasonable expenditure at this point in time. The second thing is about the dining room. Interestingly, the quality of food got a 70-something%. The consistency of the food got a 60%, but when you went to value, that dropped to 50%. So that, and by the responses of how many people eat here, how many times a month, it tells you that one of the reasons people aren't eating here is because they don't feel the value for the food. Another piece of information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, I'll go ahead and close public comment.
So how do you get on the list for public comment?
Oh, I'm certainly happy to take you. There was a sign up. If you'd like to go ahead, I just need your, happy to, yeah, sorry, I should say, the sign up in the front of the room.
So-
Oh, sure, yeah, but if, so thank you for asking that. So at the beginning of every meeting, there's a sign up sheet at the front of the room. But, you're certainly welcome to, I'm happy to add you in since public comment.
Yeah.
I need your, what would help me is if I could have your name and address would be great. Thanks. Could you just tell me for the record? Because
Sure, Judith Golab, 201 Bella Vista.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you. All righty. Got 3 minutes.
Oh, great. Oh, wow.
Yep.
I'm not an accountant. I don't do great with budgets, but this is the first time I've looked at the budget. So I may be talking a little bit out of turn here.
Well, if this is for budget, what we could do is wait and take it during, as I mentioned, I don't know if you were in the room.
It's
So let's
strictly
take it
comments for
during the
clarity.
budget if that's okay.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna have a separate opportunity to address any budget questions.
Yep, okay, so, right. With that, I guess I'll go ahead and close public comment and we'll move into the agenda. Board, I think you will have seen we got, I think we got all 3 committee reports. Do we have any questions on any of those reports? Because if not, we can probably, did you say something?
I'm going to.
Okay.
I read it with interest that in 2 of the reports, there were consistent comments about activity at the pool and the need for better attention out there, or having an attendant. And we've talked about it before, and they come and they go. I know it's not an easy job to fill, but it sounds like there's more and more activity going on out there that's either damaging equipment, lounge chairs, or noise, or vaping, or just things that have not, well, some of it been recognizable in the past. But having an attendant is something that we decided some time ago, several years ago, and it did improve the quality of the activity out there. So I think it's something that we just need to get back to.
Right.
We don't have to comment, it just.
Okay, well, just quickly, we do have an ad out for pool attendants / servers, so we killed 2 birds, 1 stone, so we will get that working.
Thank you.
So unless there are any other questions, we'll go on and move ahead to the business items. So the first item in the business is the public hearing to consider the adoption of the fiscal year 2026-27 budget. Oh, yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the staff report. Sorry, I don't know why I ran right to that. I'm in a hurry. Staff reports, landscape inspection services. I know Matt is here from Rosetta. Shall we let Matt tell us what we need to know?
How are you doing, everybody? My name is Matt. I don't know if you guys were aware of the former community asset manager that was here before, Spencer. He has resigned, so I am hopefully filling in his shoes. If you're not aware, my job is to go around, inspect the landscape, make sure that the vendor that is providing the service is holding up their end of the bargain, making sure that everything looks good at all times. I did notice that the front entrance was a little overgrown when I came out here. So this inspection report is from the 1st of August, sorry. The median beds before and after the guard shack needed some detailing. This morning I was running a little late because of traffic on I-75, but I didn't get a chance to really look at it as I was coming in. But the vendor I sent him my reports, so hopefully that's been taken care of. A lot of the grass beds, the ornamental grass beds, I noticed after trimming, they're leaving a lot of debris behind. So the beds are kind of just filled with dead grass and things like that. I've instructed them to tell their crew members to be more diligent in cleaning up after themselves as they go through. The turf issues, I did notice when I was here that they were working on some irrigation main lines across from the golf club. So I don't know if that attributes to some of the turf issues, but with these recent rains, everything's looking a little bit greener, but there was definitely still a lot of spots, especially along the main roads that needed a lot of attention. Speaking of the golf club area, that large bed that's in front of where all the parking is, it was filled with weeds. I've instructed them to make sure that as they're doing their detailing, the gentlemen or ladies that are in there aren't just picking little weeds here and there. They're making sure that they're getting everything that they can. There's a lot of melon vine, a lot of dog fennel. There was a dog fennel that was probably about this tall in the bed. So it's been there for a little while. So we're trying to make sure that they're being very diligent in doing all their weeding. I noticed that there was some, in the same area, there's a hedgerow of Jack Frost ligustrum. Those are the green and white little shrubs that are kind of lining the road there right in front of the thing. The oak trees that are there are so large, they're actually kind of blotting out the sun, so those are failing. So as we go, I always recommend to remove any dead plant material so you don't have skeletons and ugly brown bushes kind of rolling around. In those areas, I just said to just remove those, don't replace them, because anything that you replace there, it's just gonna be a waste of money. So as we go forward, I'll point out anything that's dead that shouldn't be replaced and anything that's dead that should be replaced.
Matt,
Yes.
excuse me. Which area are you talking about? You mentioned the parking lot at the golf club.
Right, so right in front of the, as you pull in, there's a large bed that's between Acero and the parking lot. There's like a huge bed that's right in that.
That's not ours.
That's not
That's the
ours.
golf club's.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make
Strike
sure,
that.
I wanted to make
Reverse
sure
that.
what we were talking about. Okay. Thank you.
Also though, someone had mentioned the cul-de-sacs. I am in total agreement with the cul-de-sacs. They are pretty shoddy. The Liriope that is in all those beds, half of them are eaten by deer or rabbits or things like that. There are still a lot of braces around the palm trees. The shrubs are not maintained to a standard that they should be. Any high visibility area where cars are slowing down, or like main entrance where people are stopping, people walking along sidewalks, people going around the end, or they're staring at the end of the cul-de-sac from their driveway when they're doing their yard work. That needs to be, I mean, everything needs to be 100%, but those need to be 100% at all times. So like I said, I've sent my report out to the vendor, and hopefully we'll be starting to see some improvements with that.
Did you send your report to us as well?
I sent it to Jacqueline, who should have distributed it. So,
I don't see
Didn't get
anything.
to it now.
well, I'll make sure that Jacqueline gets it to you too. I sent that out, I think, on the 12th or the 13th. So a couple of weeks ago I sent it out. So, okay. I will make sure in the future that you guys get that too.
I assume you've seen prior reports.
I have, yes. I was looking at Spencer's prior reports, looking at the same things that he identified to make sure that they're getting done, as well as anything that I've noticed besides those. So, but in the future, looking forward, now that I know where all the hot spots are and things, I'm a little bit more familiar with the community, I'll be able to keep a better eye on things so that you guys see the improvements as well. But if you guys have any questions for me right now, I'd be happy to answer.
Matt, I guess just one quick question. I'm sort of looking also at Cheryl. I've noticed, because I'm on foot a lot in here, some of the magnolia trees, especially on the median on the way in and actually on the strip on the way out, medians plural on the way in are getting hit by trucks. There's nothing that would stop a trimming in of the magnolias, is there, slimming them up?
You can do selective pruning.
Okay.
Magnolias actually respond well to
Pretty well,
selective pruning. Just to raise the canopies in certain areas so that they're not obstructing pedestrian or traffic or anything like that. So yeah, that can be done.
Great, thank you. That's all I had. Next item on staff reports is district engineer. I don't think I see Rick unless Rick Shopper, you're here. Well, he'll probably, maybe coming a little early for Rick. Yeah, we're moving along too fast. Well, we'll scooch him in at the end here. District council, Andy.
I'll slow you down.
Okay, no you won't.
Thank you. Just a few items to report on. Good to be back here, by the way. The first is the Vesta litigation. So I've been copying everyone with regards to the pleadings. Ken is my liaison, so we've had a bit more contact than the other board members. Where we're at right now is in the discovery stage. So they have served some interrogatories and a request for production. I'm working with Mike Crohitney to file the appropriate responses. In fact, I have something set up with Mike later this week to go over. I wanted him to pencil in the initial responses, and then I'd be glad to try and fill in what I could with him. And so we'll be working on that.
Andy, should I be on that call?
You can be, absolutely.
Should I be?
Sure. It's Thursday at 4:00. I'll send you the information. Absolutely. Just make a note. The other thing with regards to the Vesta litigation is I know that you have previously discussed, and I fully support that. I think it's time that we have a shade meeting so that the board has an opportunity to meet Mike. Ken has met him virtually, but you should have the opportunity to meet Mike, ask your questions. Just so we know, also, Mike is our attorney. There is a counterclaim, as we know, that is being defended by a separate attorney, Andy Salzman, and they are working together. But in terms of having a shade meeting, I think that I recommend it. I know I spoke just a little bit with Jill over email about potentially doing it during one of your workshop slots. I did reach out to Mike prior to coming today. He is available the 14th or the 28th at 8:30. We have to advertise it, but we have time to make either of those work. So I don't know if those work for the board. And Ken, you had asked a question about appearing virtually at the shade meeting, and our research says that that is allowable as long as we do like we always do, where we have a quorum in the room.
Okay.
So if that's something the board would like to proceed with, let me know what date works best, and I'll work with Belinda's team to get the notice placed.
I've been working with Byron on this as well. We literally just got a drive today of the files that Rich had accumulated. So we'll be going through them. We'll kind of split up the work and go through them. And I think it will be helpful if we've had enough time to come to the rest of the board with some thoughts on what we're seeing.
Okay.
For that meeting. I don't know if.
Well, we can push it even further. I mean, I just asked for the first couple minutes.
I won't be here the 14th. We'll be traveling. And so if we can move it to the 28th, I think Mike said he'd be available.
He did, yeah, and so am I.
And I think it's probably give us more time.
Is that enough time?
To go through it. Well, I'll try to get as much done before I leave.
Okay.
I'm going to be gone from the 12th to the 24th.
Okay. So then I'll work to get an ad placed so that we have a shade meeting on the 28th at 8:30. And just so you know, I know you've been through it before on some other litigation, but the way it works is we have to start with a regular meeting. So we have to place a notice anyway, so we'll do a regular meeting for 8:30. And during that regular meeting, there's certain things that need to be said, and then you retreat into your shade meeting. And in that shade meeting, there's a court reporter that's present. The court reporter takes down everything that transpires, and then at the conclusion of the litigation, that transcript will become public. And only certain people are allowed to be in that shade meeting. The board members, your manager, as well as your counsel, meaning your general counsel, myself, as well as your special counsel.
When you say manager, you mean Belinda or?
I mean Belinda,
Belinda, okay.
or whomever's filling in for
Okay,
Belinda.
I see, okay.
Correct.
Clear, okay.
How about board members elect?
No. I knew you were gonna ask that question, I'm sorry. But no. So, okay, so I will work to get that put on the books, and we will plan on it. You look perplexed, Jill.
No,
Do you have a
I'm
question?
just thinking, but no, not on Vesta.
Okay.
Just-
The other thing to update the board on is that, I believe that the Swift Mud, golf course permit reporting issue is resolved. The permit, we are on the permit. David Jackson from my office has been monitoring to make sure that the reporting is showing up. It is, I will say that it was all just a big mix-up, and Heritage has been very helpful.
Yeah.
Once we finally got to the right people who were in charge of this particular issue, they've been very helpful with reaching out to Swift Mud and getting it straightened out. It appears that they had been doing the reporting, which they've been telling Ken they've been doing all along. It was just being put in a separate spot. And so once we figured out, or they figured out what the issue was, everything sort of merged back together. And so we will continue to just peek at it and keep an eye on it, but everything appears to be resolved. The other item, just to update the board on, is that I know at your last meeting, you approved a proposal from Juniper. We prepared that contract, have sent it out. Cheryl, I know you got copied on it. And I know it's on the agenda, or at least Jill sent it separately, but we also prepared a contract for the La Sala architect. That's all I have right now. I'm glad to answer any questions though.
So why I was being perplexed, I had forgotten that Ken was not gonna be here, he's on a trip on the 14th. And things were a little tight with quorum today, which is why Ken flew
Right, I
in.
know. Thank you, Ken.
If we, for some reason, if we don't have a quorum on the 14th, can we still appoint the person for seat number, can they still be sworn in at that meeting? Or if, I guess what I'm asking is if we're running a risk that we don't have a quorum on the 14th.
I'll go through that for you.
Okay, okay. Lovely.
So, if you only have, let's say Ken and Cindy are not here on the 14th, let's just say that. You obviously need 3 people in the room, as we know. But if you appoint somebody today, then they can be sworn in outside of a meeting.
Okay.
So if you appoint somebody today, they could actually be sworn in today. I mean, I know Belinda isn't here, but a notary could swear them in, or they could be sworn in tomorrow.
I see.
And they are in. And if that third person, whomever that is present on the 14th, and they have been sworn in already,
Okay.
they're in.
Okay,
You've got your quorum, you're good to go.
okay.
So once you appoint them today, like I said, they could be sworn in outside of a meeting. They can show up on the 14th, we're good to go.
Okay.
If someone was able to do it, they could be sworn in today and come sit at the table. I mean, when they're appointed, they're appointed.
I see, okay. I just wanted to ask that, because, yes?
I will definitely be there on the 14th, and Ken, I want to thank you for being there for me today and the team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, thank you very much. That helps me, because honestly, I was asking, because I'm
Yeah.
dealing with some stuff at home that I don't
Okay.
think will cause a quorum problem, but one never knows.
Now,
Yeah,
if whomever you
one never
appoint,
knows.
yes, whomever you appoint today can then be sworn in at any time before the
Fair
14th, even the morning of the 14th.
Okay,
And they're in
That's all,
and good, and they will be your third person,
okay,
whatever number person.
okay, excellent. All right, so that answers that question. You and I chatted on the break about the one-pager,
Yes.
political, I emailed you all. Andy and I, in chatting about it, I think both agreed that we did actually finalize it. I think it just needs to be
Yeah,
accepted in Word.
I believe so,
And made
as
final.
well.
So we did chat with Leah during the break about its
and
purpose.
Amy, I didn't have a chance to talk with her because, this came up over the weekend, but Amy Barrington from my office is who prepared this, and she may very well already have the clean copy.
Okay.
The latest I had in my
okay.
computer was.
Yeah, and I
this
got
one.
to you late. I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay, no problem. So if you're good with this latest version, then we'll just make a clean copy and get it to Leah and the board, of course.
Okay.
Perfect.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Excellent. So there's nothing else for Andy. We will, boy, we certainly grilled you this morning, Leah. Is there anything, right now we're on Liquor Group, a couple of reports. Is there anything you wanted to add? I know
Yeah.
you had like a summary.
We talked about some things in the pre-meeting here, but I have some exciting things that I think people would like to hear. We have a couple of new team members on staff. Rick, the assistant for tennis and maintenance, has taken another opportunity elsewhere. So he left and we had a pretty quick transition. We have maintenance assistants, a young man named Alex. He came in ready to go and is already being valuable to the team here. So you'll see him around. You might have already seen him walking around. We have Matthew assisting with tennis. So Matt and Matthew. But I'm the new one, I'm calling Matthew because it's just confusing. But he's come in ready to go and already been helping out with that, and it's really been great. Brian had his demo on Saturday. He was really pleased with how that went. Cheryl was there. I assume it went well. They rolled sushi.
Absolutely.
And he's on a little much-deserved vacation this week.
I can make sushi.
Yeah, they
It was an
rolled
awesome
sushi.
demo.
You didn't bring
So
us that?
if you missed that demo, you missed out, but sign up for the next one. It's limited, so be sure to sign up early. And then Shelley is going to lead her up in Jacksonville this week. She leaves tomorrow. So she's going to lead her up with Hampton, and she's going to be pulled into all the Hampton ways. It's really positive and uplifting. She's really stepped into her role of food and beverage supervisor, manager, whatever your official title is. And she's gone above and beyond in that position. This is my second Monday as your manager here. So I really relied on Shelley a lot, even though she's new to her position and she's been wonderful. But she's going to lead her up this week, tomorrow. And she'll come back with some really positive things to give to her team and to learn a little more about Hampton operation. So that's exciting for her. The last thing I want to say is I'm digging into your financials. I don't feel really confident in commenting on them yet. However, I am confident in saying that with revenue being low during the summer, food and beverage is working on keeping our wages low along with the revenue, so they kind of go hand in hand. And I'm really proud to say Brian and Shelley are actively doing that, and we'll continue to do that, base wages and expenses, a little more revenue than just going forward on status quo. So that's what I got.
Thank you. Congratulations, Kelly. And Shelley, you deserve it.
Thank you.
We'll move to the field manager.
Good morning, board. Just a couple things. The front gate, on the driver's side, on the resident side was hit again, so it was done by a Walmart delivery guy delivering Walmart food. Police were notified, all those type of things, so we'll get with them and their insurance and get that taken care of. The gate people have been notified, and either today or tomorrow they'll be here to reinstall that gate. I have talked with some of you over the last week about spike bull rush in our ponds. And this is something new, and I'm all excited about it because we do have, a lot of our ponds have spike bull rush in it. And it's a great thing for our ponds. It's all natural. It helps with erosion. And so but it's not the greatest looking, and a lot of ponds have it in droves. And we have a meeting with a resident on the 31st, gonna look at some new ideas, some, it does come back if you take it out, those type of things, we know that. But, Solitude called me last week and said, we have a company that wants spike bulrush. And they will come take it out of your pond, when they need it. And so they needed 500 plants, they'll come remove it. And so I was like, all right, this is a great thing. It's expensive for Solitude or anybody else to come and start taking it out. It's a huge expense. This is all free. So they'll remove it. We want to make sure that they don't, whatever ruts or damaging the banks or those type of things. So Melinda wanted me to make sure that, get with you all to make sure that you're all on board with it. Well, I told Solitude we'll need something in writing from them that they will repair our banks or whatever but to let us know prior to them coming in. And maybe we can direct them to certain ponds that we want done first. And it's not something that's gonna happen every day. It's when they need it, they'll come get it. So.
I think Keith and I have talked about this, and it may be a great thing for us because we get a lot of complaints from residents about it. But at the same time, as he mentioned, it has a purpose, and that's to prevent erosion. And fixing erosion of the ponds is very costly. So to his point, I think we need to be part of that process, that they just don't come in willy-nilly, if that's such a word anymore, and take what they want where they want. That we prioritize where it comes from, and maybe they don't take 100% of it. Maybe they take what's deeper in and not near the shore. But I think there's got to be some kind of rules set for this.
Correct, sure.
So before we say yes, I think whatever they're going to put in writing, we need to see it and go through it. But it's a good opportunity to do some cleanup, but at the same time, not make a future problem for us.
Great, thank you. And then last, we've got District Manager Belinda is on. I don't know, Belinda, can you? Okay, all right, so, and later on, I guess we've got an agenda item on here to talk about the dates for next year, so.
Carrie's on if you have questions for him.
Oh,
I want to talk about the dates.
we could go ahead and get that done.
Well,
So
only that the first October is missing.
it is, yeah, Cheryl and I we're commenting on that. Since Carrie's on, I wonder if we should go ahead and, since we're moving into business items, I wonder if we should quickly jump ahead and. Yeah, where did that go? There it is, 6D for David. Consideration of resolution 2026-09, adopting meeting schedule for fiscal year 2026-27, which would start October 1st. Carrie, if we can, I don't know if we can hear you here, but I did not.
I'm here.
Oh, great. Carrie, didn't see any October dates on there.
12th and 26th.
Oh, did I miss them?
No, they're not on.
Oh.
You didn't miss it because they're not there.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so 12 and 26. October 12, I mean,
That would be our regular, right?
it would be a regular schedule. So, all right, so that would be a schedule as amended. So, shall we go ahead? Now, I guess a question before we do that is the board?
I'm not sure why those two were missing. Typically, you would not have that November 23rd meeting. That's a meeting that typically Venetian does not hold,
That's thanks.
as well as that December 28th meeting. We try to avoid the holidays for those 2 months. So you can adopt this meeting schedule subject to the addition of the October meetings and the removal of the November 23rd and December 28th meetings.
I mean, you can always cancel them too, so you may want to just leave
Right.
it on there.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm
If
not
we're gonna
really
just-
sure I would want to cancel the November 23rd meeting, if we could move it, because
Monday.
it's a Monday, but my concern is, do we want to have Byron sworn in and have him attend that meeting once the election is certified?
Yes, Byron will take office 2 weeks after the election, so.
Yep.
Running it in my head, that works. And again, just because
Comes up
it's
short, doesn't it? Maybe not.
10, 17.
2017 is fine.
Okay.
Does that work? I haven't done the math yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like we said,
Thank you.
just because it's on the books, you could always decide not to have it. But if it's not on the books and you want to have it, then you have to place a special ad.
And we could also decide to move it. I mean, there are many options
Yes.
when November rolls
Yes,
around.
so I would recommend leaving the November and the December. It doesn't cost anything to cancel them, you don't need to run an ad or anything to cancel, but you do need to run an ad to have it.
Okay.
Okay. But October
You
12th,
can-
to
You
26th.
can approve the resolution subject to the addition of those 2 October meetings.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna make the motion that we approve the resolution subject to the addition of the October 12 and 26, 2026 meetings. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
The 12th is
What?
Columbus Day. but
We've done it before though.
Yeah, I think we normally meet.
Yeah, okay, good. So, any further discussion? All those in favor? Please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes, resolution passes. Okay, good. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate it. Anything else?
You're most welcome. I'm also going to let you know that Belinda has also joined the meeting.
Oh, great. Hi,
Thank you.
Belinda.
Good morning.
Great.
Morning.
So shall we go ahead and move into the,
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else from district manager, staff report, and then we can move into budget.
yeah, is there anything else, Carrie, that we need to throw in here? No? Oh,
Belinda, did you have anything for DM staff report, item 5F?
Belinda, we can hardly hear you.
I think Carrie's doing the relay.
We can always come back.
That's true. We could come back.
Belinda or Carrie, if one of you is talking, you're both muted on my screen. You have to unmute yourselves.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Was there a question for me?
We were still waiting. You had asked Belinda if she had anything to report and we didn't hear anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. She does not have anything further to report at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Great.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So if I could.
Sure, yes,
Madam Chair,
please.
Just talk a little bit about procedure before you get into tackling your budget. So procedural wise, even though we have it on here as 2 public hearings, we're going to have 1 public hearing. And for everybody out there, that 1 public hearing will be your opportunity to address the board with regards to anything related to the budget and or the assessment. And so what we will do is when you're ready, we'll get a motion and a second to open the public hearing. We can take public comment and then a motion and a second to close the public hearing. The board will have an opportunity for whatever discussion, if so needed, further. And then there are 2 resolutions that we have for you. The first resolution, 2026-07, approves the budget. And the second resolution, 2026-08, approves the assessments and gives all the authority to the Rosetta team to certify your role and take care of those necessary steps. So if you're ready, we'll just look for a motion and a second to open the public hearing. And I don't know if you wanted to make any other statements before that.
No, I think you alluded to it, which is we'll take public comment, but it won't be a back and forth
Correct.
discussion. We will take public comment, and if there's something to discuss, we'll discuss it after public comments close, just so people understand if we're not replying, that's why.
Yes.
So, okay, good. No, I think we're good. So I'm going to make the motion that we open the public hearing to consider the adoption of the fiscal year 2026-27 budget.
And it will also be with regards to assessment.
And regard to, and also considering the assessment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So, now we'll go ahead, if any, Mrs. Golab, I think you wanted to, make a comment on the budget. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Okay, so as I understand it, Judith Goleb, there's no back and forth here, so I'll just read my statement, and if you'd like a written copy, I can give it to you, but thank you for the opportunity to speak about the budget. First, introduces a new 60,000 outside console expense. This is new to me personally. Looking at the budget, it's 5.9% increase, is what my evaluation came as. It's $60,000 for an outside console. The question is, this is a legal matter apparently. Why isn't the district council able to handle this? Is it a one-time expense or an ongoing budget expense that will continue? And that's the end of those questions. The other thing is looking at the operational expenses for the River Club. That is increased by 168,000. And I realize that 90,000 of this is related to a reserve study, I guess, is what I heard. Why are the River Club's costs going up so dramatically? And I do not believe personally the service or the food quality has improved that much. So there is an $82,000 increase for employees' salaries. Would like to better understand what's driving that. And 54,000 increase in maintenance contracts. Is there a specific maintenance issue that could be clarified? Also, the insurance increased by $65,000. Question, were there competitive quotes received? Or is this just something that wasn't investigated because there was no time? So those are the questions that I have, and again, I'll email them. And there was a final, more positive note. I believe in investing in the community, and it sounds like everybody else does, but we really need to have transparency and understand what the funding is for and actually get value for the increase that's being proposed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for putting the time into looking into the budget. Is there anybody else who would like to comment on this budget item only? Going once, going twice? All right, so, and we lost our general counsel. So I guess let's go into discussion on the budget.
I guess I would,
Yeah.
I would say in response to that, that the transparency, we've had several meetings where we've gone through the budget line item by line item. And I know some of you were here for that. So we have addressed all of these issues and the reasons for the increases and the reasons for the decreases in some cases. So I do feel that we have worked really hard to be transparent in going through these items, line item by line item. I just wanted to say that we didn't do this behind closed doors. We did it here, and for those of you who sat through it, it was a very, very, very long meeting. So, in detail.
Maybe let me just add one thing as well. And while I certainly take the point about the increase in the River Club, who a board member-elect did quite a revealing analysis of River Club costs. This is separate from the debt, but operations and maintenance and reserves over the last, I think it's 8 years, if I have that right. And the increase actually over those 8 years, the combined annual growth rate of those is 1.9%. It's actually less than inflation. So yes, there are some things that are increasing the budget this year, but in fact, if you look at the increases over the last 8 years, they have not kept pace with inflation. And additionally, we are in an aging facility, so there was a need to increase the reserves. So, yeah, I think that's something I would add to your comment.
And I had one more, which was the outside counsel expense is actually related to the lawsuit, and it is for this year, and we don't know if it'll be continuing or not. It depends on whether or not it gets resolved during the year. But our counsel does not specialize in trial work, and that is actually work related specifically to a claim and potentially a hearing or a trial, so it has to be separate counsel.
And maybe I would just add on that, rest assured that we've debated over quite a number of meetings whether we should be undertaking this or not. And that's something that I certainly understand what you're saying, and I think we all do. So I appreciate the comment. Thank you.
I'll comment on the River Club reserves. There's a significant, we did a reserve study update, the Reserve Finance Committee this year. And we do it every 3 years. And obviously there's been a lot of inflation over the last several years, so that's a factor. But the bigger factors come down to, there's a handful of projects that have either been pulled forward or costs have significantly increased. And we felt that we did not have sufficient reserves to cover that going forward. The biggest item is the cost to replace the roof here, which is a significant item. Costs have increased significantly. It's been pulled in by a couple of years, but that increase added $239,000 to what we had in the reserves. The geothermal system, if that's replaced, which is likely to be, was another item that was brought in from several years out further at a higher cost of $146,000 that we had in the reserves. We painted this building several years sooner than the prior reserve study had anticipated, and at a higher cost. Again, that was $73,000. The kitchen equipment replacement was spread over 2025 to 29, but in looking at the condition of the equipment and the pricing of the equipment, it made sense to do it all at once. So bringing that forward was $52,000 to the current year impact. So we ended up with looking at having to increase the River Club reserve over a 4-year period. So this is year 1 of that increase. So it won't be perpetual, but it did add a significant amount to the current year reserve requirements and will at that level for the next 3 years after this. Then it should drop down again. Outside counsel that was talked about.
I'm trying to find
The can't find.
the insurance increase of 55,000.
Well, that was probably because of the fact that Hampton has to take.
Well, the insurance cost
I think that's the piece that's just on.
was increased over this year, over prior year, because when we brought Hampton in, this was discussed and researched through Andy's office and Belinda, where there's certain coverages that Hampton requires to have that we've not had previously at the River Club. And in some cases, it was a little redundant to our overall coverage, but not completely. And it's actually added significant costs. There's been offsets in employee costs, employee benefit costs that will more than offset that insurance cost. But, well, it in and of itself will, but not altogether. I know you're shaking your head no.
I'm sorry, no. The analysis, the offset is, I don't see that.
Well, it has this year. That would be ongoing as long as Hampton is our management company.
Plus, the other thing I think it's important to understand is, we're government, we get our own insurance through, the Florida Insurance Alliance, which provides insurances to municipalities, of which we are one. So it's,
For local government.
we're local government, right, sorry, local government, yeah. That. But it's not something where we can just go around and bid. And it does actually provide some excellent benefits. For example, we don't face the same challenges that some people may face, for example, with roofs and other things. So there's definitely some benefits to it, but there are also some things about us being a local government that make insurance to some degree a bit of a challenge. So just to be aware.
Through 10 months, our comp and benefits expenses are $99,000 below budget and $129,000 below last year. So the increase in insurance is $54,000 over budget, $57,000 over last year. So it's a factor, but not the only factor.
Okie dokie. So,
I have a P&L comparison, if you're interested in seeing it
Yeah, I would.
after the
This
meeting.
is the first time I've looked at a budget, so I apologize if I.
No, that's fine.
No, I would say in continuance of my comment, I appreciate your questions. Those questions all came up during the budget session, so they're really good questions. And I would encourage you to come to the budget session next time because they really were spot on. So I just wanted the rest of the room to know that we didn't do this behind closed doors, that we did do it in public. So, thank you.
Everything.
yes, and everything is, yes, absolutely. So are we looking for?
Do we have any other comments?
Actually, we need to deal with, well, we went through that when you were out of the room. I think maybe last call on questions on the budget?
Can we close the public hearing?
Not yet. So, okay, so,
Can I make one more?
sure, of course you can.
Question, and I
Of course
will go to the budget meeting, but the holiday decorations increase, is there something you can comment, $7,000 for holiday decorations?
So,
Was there something that got lost or destroyed?
maybe I can,
We want better decorations.
let me just add really quickly. I worked on that because we had quite a bit of feedback from staff from residents that what we were doing was not in keeping with the community and other communities around us. So, it's a Florida thing, but decorating those large trees is costly. But it actually, when you think about when season is and when people are both enjoying their homes and looking at potentially buying a home, we felt it was a good investment and that what we had previously could be improved upon, maybe is what I would say. So but I appreciate you noticing that. Thanks for that. So anything else? All righty, with that, you're looking for a motion then to close the public hearing? Okay, all right.
Second.
Yeah, all those in favor? Aye. Over here, or do you want me to keep going? Okay, you do it.
Here,
Good morning. I just wanted to let everybody know that I've joined the meeting.
Thank you,
Good morning,
Belinda.
Belinda.
Good morning.
So board members, now's your opportunity if you have any other discussion or if you want to make any changes. As we talked about previously, we can't go any higher. We set that high water mark. You could potentially move items around as long as it didn't increase the assessments, or you could lower. But I know that you have spent a lot of time on this budget, had a lot of discussions, vetted some Q&A. So this is your last shot, but if you're ready to proceed, then we can look towards the resolution.
Let's do it. Cindy, you okay with that?
I'm good, yes.
Okay.
Okay, then board, we'd just be looking for a motion to approve resolution 2026.
Sorry, discussion? We have a discussion?
We just did, but go ahead. Go ahead.
You're not too late.
What?
You're not too late.
Sorry. I went through it all again, and there's a lot of pluses and minuses. We now have 10 months of actual for this year.
Yeah.
I extrapolated the final 2 months and then did some comparisons. And there's some line items that look like they're gonna be out of whack, but I'm not sure they're worth changing at this point. I talked to Leah a little bit. She hasn't really had a chance to look at the budget, but apparently Jamie has relooked at it within the last week or two. And
Yes,
he's comfortable
yes,
with what they submitted.
yes.
The only, there's a couple of areas of changes that we might want to think about with interest rates not knowing where we're going. There's a chance that a couple of the interest income areas will be lower, but at the same time, we've got buffer, and I'm speaking specifically about the general reserve, general fund right now, but there's areas that we have buffer, particularly with the district engineer. We had increased that considerably.
Yeah, we
Thinking
did,
we
you're
were going
right.
to be going to a new engineering company, but it sounds like we'll be able to maintain status quo. So we've got some buffer there, so as long as everybody's okay, realizing that there's gonna be some offsets. It's not worth changing the budget at this point, but I just want people to be aware. We have looked at, or I have looked at it.
And I totally agree. I went line by line and also found some increases and some
Yeah.
decreases, but since this is a high water mark, and the other thing that I considered is Leah's brand new. And I think Leah has some great ideas, and I am hopeful that we come in under our budget mark this year, which will put us in a good position for next year, but I'm not willing to put that in the budget, because I think we have too many unknowns right now. So I'm comfortable with where the budget is.
Agreed.
I agree with that 100%. I feel like there's gonna be shifts line by line, but overall, I would like to see Leah have enough to be able to manage the River Club this year.
Okay,
I would agree as well. I don't think you can make any changes at this point.
okay. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, Sam. Okay, cool. So,
If you're ready, then what we'd be looking for is a motion to approve Resolution 2026-07, annual appropriations and adopting the budget for FY 26-27 as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just to confirm, we closed the public hearing.
We did.
Okay, thanks. The second is Resolution 2026-08, which would be making a determination of benefit, imposing special assessments for fiscal year 2026, 2027, providing for the collection and enforcement of special assessments, and certifying an assessment role.
I will, go ahead.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, you're done with your budget. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, budget. Okay, so, Belinda, do you want me to keep going or are you taking over?
Where are we going at this point? Do we have somebody there for the presentation for the La Sala?
Don't think he's here yet, so I'm thinking we should try to motor through the other, as many of these, yeah, it's 11 o'clock. He's coming for 11, so I think we should motor through as much as we can.
And the next one is
Okay.
actually yours.
Yeah, it is yours.
District management.
Yeah,
Yeah, so number 6C is the consideration of the contract for professional district management services. This is behind tab number 4 for your review. This is just the changes in our rates as incorporated in the budget that was just adopted. Any questions?
I actually had a few minor things that I would want to go over, just some typos and stuff that I found, like there's reference to an exhibit that's not there and things along those lines. So, board, if you're so inclined, I just ask for a motion to approve in substantial form, and then I'll just point out to Belinda
yeah, okay.
what I noticed. There was actually a few things. I can run through them real quick if you want, but like on page 2, talks about extended meetings beyond 4 hours in length, and then I think the exhibit refers to 3 hours in length. So that needs to be settled up. And then,
Yeah, actually, on that one, Andy,
Yeah.
our hourly rate is typically $400 an hour, but for Venetian, it's $261, I believe. So, we actually modified our rate for Venetian on the exhibit, but I can have Melissa alter it.
okay. And then on section Roman numeral 15, the insurance, section C, just wanted to add some language about primary and non-contributory. And then there's a reference in D, section D, to an exhibit E, which I don't believe is in here. Like I said, just a few minor things I would want to go over with Carrie or whomever. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, right, so, okay, I'll make the motion that we accept the district contract.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
On this exhibit B, schedule of fees, Belinda, I noticed everything is in line with what we talked about and was in the budget, except on management. I think that number seems to be lower. I think the 26 budget has 34,052 in it versus the 27,806. And I think it's based on the number of meetings that I think this schedule assumes 1 meeting a month, and the budget assumed more than that.
That's correct.
Why would they be different?
Just in case you do have 2 meetings a month, we have more in the budget.
And then your contract would revert to the hourly rate, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so-
Instead of the normal, which is what we charge, the $400, Venetian is different. We charge the $261 for Venetian with the 4-hour maximum for the second meeting of the month.
So it's actually covered just in a different format?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. It's just in case you have a second meeting. I normally just log on in case you have a workshop and in case you need me, and I don't charge the district for it. But in case you have a regular meeting, it's covered for in the budget.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we are looking for a motion.
To approve it in substantial form and authorize the chair to execute.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ken. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All right. So we're going to move on to the consideration of resolution 2026-09, adopting a meeting schedule for fiscal year 2026-2027.
We already took care of that,
Number
Belinda.
5.
We already approved that, Belinda.
We're ahead of you.
You did? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay, we
I'm
approved
sorry.
it
That's
with
okay.
the addition
Carrie
of the
Carrie
October
stepped
meeting.
in for us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Belinda, item 6E on the golf cart ID program. During the workshop, we discussed we need to give Leah some more time, so we're going to defer that to a future agenda, probably, I'm guessing probably October, to give Leah some time, but I'll keep track of that, at least through October.
Okay, so are we ready for La Sala or do we move on?
Yeah, let's keep moving because it's 10:44 and John will probably pull in 6 minutes. So let's,
Take a break in between.
would you like to take a break?
Not right now.
Okay.
In a couple minutes.
Well, are we,
We can do the resolution.
You want to go to H? Excuse me.
Do we
yeah,
want to move on to H,
6H.
discussion and appointment of a supervisor to fill seat number 5?
yes.
Do you want to, let's wait till after break for that.
Want we talk
Because
first?
I think we'll have discussion and we'll want everyone to comment.
Okay,
That's my opinion, Ken.
okay.
All right, so let's take a 10-minute break and go off the record at 10:45 a.m.
I need to get some.
Hear your voice.
Hey Cheryl, can we just have whoever's there to announce what they're gonna be presenting, so I have it for the record?
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay, we ready to roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back on the record at 11:02 a.m. We're gonna go back on the record at 11:02 a.m. No sidebars, please. Hello, thank you. Right, so we're back on the record at 11:02 a.m. And the next item on the agenda is 6F, which is a discussion regarding La Sala project update. With us, we have John Swidrak from Costera Design. John's going to take us through the next iteration of where we are with the plans. I'll turn it over to you, John.
Okay, so today, just to kind of recap or kind of project what we're gonna be going over here, an update from our last meeting. And the last meeting, we talked about some different plan changes, we talked about some design direction. Last meeting is all together that I was here. Some design direction, some thoughts, narrowing down some kind of paths moving forward. And then what we're gonna look at today is a little bit more of those design changes in plan. Look at some flexibility with the space that we're in right now with seating, with the movable walls, again, in plan view. And then graphically or three-dimensionally, we'll look at more of this outside space. And it's kind of just imagining some options in there. There's things in plans that will change that a little bit, but I want a good comfort level with everybody here, good comfort level moving forward. Basically two kind of sub-concepts in terms of, is it a parapet outside? Is it an overhang outside, looking at our arched openings, screened areas, and a little bit more like kind of rough conceptual. I say that because it's more of a sketchy style instead of a photorealistic, but I think you'll be able to understand that more when we get into it here. 2 different programs open. Wow, come on, go back to the one I want. There we go. So in the slides here, and I think there's some printouts, there is a little bit of difference between the printouts and what you'll see here. Partly because at our last meeting, we talked about enclosing this existing garden room or the covered space outside with glass. And I felt like we were all in agreement that probably didn't have the best value and the use for that space to enclose the glass. So what you see in your plans there, it looks like windows around that space. I don't have that in here. So this is just an existing large plan. This was our previous plan, just kind of recapping what was there. So this is the updated kind of current floor plan. I'll zoom in on the bar as well as the covered patio space. But at the bar area here, we talked about having a service area on the corner instead of over on this side. So, sorry, there we go. Oh, that still works there. Okay, so coming in through the entry, we've got our door here to close off for storage, but a decorative door here. But entering into the dining, you're going past the host station, which is movable. So that host station could go here. It could be pushed back a little bit further, almost like making the bar more like just walk in and take a seat at the bar versus having to kind of check in and pick a seat here. It could slide back. This is where that service pickup was before on each corner. And right now, just in plan, conceptually looking at the right size space, the right size flow for bartenders to work together or towards the corner and have all the service pickup for drinks that can go out from here. So go out to the dining, go out to La Sala, go outside here at that kind of hinge point. In this plan, you see this is our planter walls that we talked about. And there are some options in these floor plans that, as I'm thinking through, I want to show you flexibility with it. So if it doesn't happen when we finally get done with construction, it could be 2 years down the road. Hey, let's change this up a little bit. And now we have the flexibility to do so because those are movable. So I'm showing 3 dividers here, and I actually built a 4th one. I didn't physically build it, but you get the idea that there could be a 4th one. And does this have a little bit of separation between the lounge area over here and kind of table seating right here? Again, just if we wanted to move those around, we could also take this 4th one over here and bring it back if we wanted to make this divider more dense. So push it together a little bit more. Maybe there's some separation and flow kind of through the divider to separate kind of the formal dining here from the bar seating in this location. Outside at the covered patio space, I did extend that, or have this at the line that we originally had it extended to. You're seeing the columns out here. You are seeing screened area here. There's a door to get out of that screened area and a door to get out here from the screened area, and even a door here so you can get under this covered space. So outside we have the seating laid out like we had it before. This is the existing columns that are here. So the extension out, it's about 19 feet, a little less than 19 feet. And you can see this is what I call double loaded. So you've got a double loaded corridor, you've got table seating on one side, a corridor or walkway to get around tables, and then another row of seating, table seating here. And then I did have a small server station out there. That would just be so servers aren't coming in and out just to grab small items through that. In the enlarged bar, mentioned that service area on the corner. I'm showing 16 seats. I believe we had 19 at one point in here, so it did take a couple seats out of there. And we removed the service area from here and here. We do have an opportunity for maybe like just a wine cabinet or a wine door. That's not something that's been critical. I think some early designs, we talked about maybe having an area for wine. Or just for as you come in and maybe you're waiting and you see, considering a bottle of wine for the evening, there's an opportunity for that there. Another thing you'll see in here is locating TVs. And that's been something that we want to have, more of a social bar, a little bit of activity in there. That doesn't mean the TVs have the volume turned up or anything like that. It's just being able to watch, an event that's on for the day, being able to theme for different events. If it might be a Super Bowl, Kentucky Derbies, something like that. There's a place for people to get together and be able to watch in multiple areas. In our next, I believe it's going to be our next meeting, we'll look at some interior design of this bar area. One space that I go back and forth on is having TVs on this wall. Because it's more directly connected visually a little bit with the dining, we'd be looking back here at that end of the bar. Whether or not we do want TVs there, that could be a very nice, just dressed up elegant bar. It could be a mirror behind there, some shelving. And so this is the only spot that I'm kind of back and forth about having TVs or not. This would be out of view and facing this way. And we have other opportunities to put TVs inside that La Sala area back there to give it that social environment.
John, before you leave that slide, just a quick question. Where we have storage, so behind the back bar, is that anticipated to be cold storage for kegs, or are kegs going to be under the physical bar?
I don't know what the bar equipment is or kind of what those items are. We've got room back there to do that. If we need to have a small area, it's not going to be a large walk-in cooler, but it would make sense to have kegs back here that can feed right through the wall, kegs over here, maybe they're back in this corner in a small walk-in. They can also be in a countertop type cooler if they're smaller kegs, but there is space for that right now. I don't have dedicated tables and chairs shown and laid out in this plan. The question was raised about this attic access. The way we have it right now, we're going up about 15 feet to that floor, and we want to have a safer ladder than just a lean-to ladder. What'll fit in that space is more, call it an alternating tread ladder. So railings on both sides, and you're kind of alternating your steps as you go up vertically in there. If that is not something that makes sense or that we want to do and say, hey, we need to get some supplies up there, does that mean we can stay with the alternating tread, but we need some type of lift or able to kind of strap and pull up any big items? I know the goal of that is that we want it safe. We want whoever's going up and down to be safe in there. Up and down, I think it's fine with the alternating tread. Depends what are they carrying up or down in that space. I'm going to go back a slide. I think I am, because I missed this area. So you see these are the two closets that you guys have talked about in closing over in this area. You see in this plan, I've got the doors that face into the private dining here. Another plan faces out. It's more of a function and an aesthetic in general. Standing here and seeing closet doors, there's doors everywhere else in this room, so that doesn't bother me. It would be more of a function if I need to go empty this room out and slide tables in there. Do I really want to go into the room, back around, and then fill those closets? We could also, if the doors are like this in plan, these could be little recessed niches and have an arch to it, and maybe artwork or something in those areas too. So aesthetically, I could go back and forth, but I did flip them originally. The first option was to put them on this side, just thinking, do I want to see storage doors there? Storage doors also tend to get dinged up a little bit, and could that be a maintenance item that we're concerned about over time? You guys live with the storage doors there, and I don't think anybody's meal is ruined because they have to look at doors, but it's just the thought in there. So, and then with that option one in the outdoor screen lanai area, so I've got in here 76 seats, the way it's shown. And you can see with this plan, hey, John, can you squeeze in another table or two? Yeah, of course. There could be a table here and here on either side of the doors. There's opportunity to do that. But as I was comparing plans and kind of the comfortable layout of seating, 76 seats out in this area. As I mentioned before, when you come from inside this space, there's a door out to get out to the lawn space, a door out here. At one point, we talked about these being operable screens. I think we've kind of gone away from that. It's always something that we could even just get a price, screen the whole thing in, and give us a price for 2 operable ones right there, just to see what that comparison would be. And then that server station space going out. With this plan and the other plan I'll mention, we've got existing columns that are in here right now. And the idea with these column spacing on the outside is let's try to beef this up and get a little bit more open space. Not ruining the rhythm, but expanding the rhythm in here. So we've got these column spacing tighter in here, and you see outside I'm lining up these columns, alternating columns, so every other one as we go out.
Is this whole outdoor space covered?
It is, yes, the whole
We're not
whole
taking
space.
questions from you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Pretend that never happened. So I have dashed in these columns as a potential option to free up some floor space through there, because my preference would be that this whole area would look like one room. Not necessarily, here's the old soffit, the old arches, and then we added on to the outside here. I think as we're getting into more design, it would make sense for it to feel like one room, and I think we could do so with reusing these columns, but eliminating the others. These next set of plans, they more talk about the alternating seating. So in here, you see how these dividers, that 4th divider I mentioned over here, well, I brought it back and kind of did this zigzag. That could be, a zigzag. It could be 30 degrees, 20 degrees, just something different. Maybe they even line up at the same angle all the way across as more of a screen, but again, gives us some flexibility in the space. It changes a little bit of the seating layout as well. I think it's a nice way to make a change with the space without spending really any money, just moving some stuff around. And throughout the busy season or at the beginning of each season, the space could look a little bit different there. With this plan, this is taking those 3, kind of curving them a little bit and pushing them more towards the bar. So if there wasn't a larger event here and the bar wasn't necessarily needed for that event, it could be pushed almost all the way up to the front edge of the bar and just open this up a little bit larger through here. This plan here did almost that same thing, just not as much, so reduce the size of the bar dining, moving that aisle back a little bit in that space. I had shown this and as just, again, a flexibility item. I'm doing a lot of hospitality work lately in clubs like this. We see different requests for activities, and pool table's been one of them. I enjoy pool, but I know not everybody does. And not everybody enjoys the clicking of balls hitting each other But this might be just a game area. It might be that there's a center table in here, and not the lounge seating I showed before. So just, again, flexibility with use over time. We're having interest on this, we're having interest on that, and we can do different things with the space. This plan too. Okay, so the other thing we talked about in the last meeting is shrinking the size of that patio. And in this plan, I brought this extension out, the paved extension and covered area. I brought it in 7 feet. So about 12 feet, the other one was 19, so about 12 feet it came in. I also am showing in here removing all the columns. It seems like at that point, there's an opportunity to just retruss or sister the trusses with the existing and eliminate that columns, opening up that whole area out there as kind of a bigger usable space. It also gives you that flexibility with the seating. So I'm still showing the combination of lounge and dining seating along the outside, this wall here, and then inside just some different table seating. We got a kind of a communal table in here. This space being outside could have that flexibility with that. This is showing 72 seats in here. So reducing the size, bringing it in by 7 feet, we get about roughly the same seating. I also know that I could put another table here and I get 76 in there. It's the exact same seating that we have. The circulation space isn't as big for that, but there is plenty of comfortable circulation, handicap accessibility around here. People can get in between tables and access tables appropriately that we need to do. This is kind of a question that to get some feedback today in terms of do we want to look at going all the way out? And it's not so much a cost and a construction, it's also thinking about that lawn space. So we come in 7 feet, we preserve some of that lawn space. And I know there's activities that happen out there that we're encroaching on, not allowing that to happen, but we do start to encroach on that space a little bit. And then, as we've been talking about the patio, just to recap here, some exterior design inspiration images that we had before, mainly looking at arches through here, some detailing that's up top. This is more of an overhang on either side. This is more of a straight parapet, which we have right now out there. Some different column types. We did talk about the last meeting, maybe going back to more of a square column, which is actually similar to as you go down the colonnade towards the pool outside of the pool locker rooms there or restrooms there. Those are square columns that continue out versus these round columns out the back. And you'll see square columns on the renderings here, but just dressing this up a little bit more and using this as our inspiration. And then as well, from the inside, able to put some wood or textured stucco that looks like wood painted. We want it to be low maintenance in here, but really dress up those spaces. So both images that you'll see are kind of both options. Look at the space being extended out that 18 feet, 8 inches, almost 19 feet. And this is a view kind of standing out in this area in the yard, not quite by the fence, but out that way, looking back at the existing garden room now. You're seeing this would be the paved area. It goes back to a door right here to get inside. You're seeing these arches through here that would be screened. They would have frames in them, so you're seeing some vertical and horizontals to stiffen up those framed openings. And these columns that you're seeing here are very similar to what's down the colonnade over there. They're a little bit higher. Those, I think, break at about 6 feet and then arch over. I believe this breaks at about 8 feet. We could even come down to 7, but it was trying to get to almost a 11'6" arch in here. So nice volume within the space. Currently, the bearing on that outside is at 14 feet. And if we were going to extend this out, maintaining that height and really not going much lower, if any lower than the existing arches out there. Bringing out some sconces through here, kind of giving some lighting to that usable outdoor space. I know that on the opposite side, there was discussions about some landscape lighting and dressing the preserve up. So as we look out, we can see that area. And then some of this parapet detailing that's mimicking the existing, that stucco detailing around. So tying a little bit more into kind of the bigger elements of the existing design. And then standing at the opposite side here, we have our access through here, screen access out this way. You're looking and seeing that combination of some lounge seating, some table seating in here, and then looking back into the glass that comes into this room here. I will mention this glass here. I think it would be good to price an option to make that clear glass and not really mess up any of that tinting or that views, because now that space is already covered. We're not worried about direct sunlight and the tinting in there, and there'll be more visible connection through there. And then this looked at, again, the same square footage, just a different option with our roof. It is something that's not a big element that exists throughout this existing building, but I think it does tie into it. It does complement the architecture that's in here. Mainly looking at some decorative brackets, but mostly this overhang. So having this roof slope that would come out, have a continuous gutter around the perimeter, be able to add some wood soffits in here. It wouldn't be true wood, probably more of an aluminum faux wood. There's different products that can be used for that. Even these brackets could be aluminum brackets with no maintenance on a wood bracket. Similar with the same column design in here, bringing that in, exterior sconces. And now you're seeing a little bit into the inside of this here, looking at that ceiling being one big open ceiling through there and a consistent aesthetic on that inside. And then just another view from this side and through here. So some of these arches based on the column widths, those will need to be tightened up. So these columns on the outside or the arches on the outside are a little bit lower, but maintaining the large three arches as we look directly out through here. And I believe that's the information I brought to discuss today. So going back to some of the plan, or actually if we want to start with kind of feedback discussion, and we could start at that lanai space, thinking about, do we want to go out that 19 feet? Does it make sense to come back to the 12 feet or 12 feet through there for that smaller area? Thoughts on flow, function. I know there's things about staffing when we get to a certain size or get beyond that. It could become a staffing concern as well.
Yeah, anybody want to start or start?
I just, can I just, I
Please.
only have one comment. My preference would not be to go out that full 19 feet and leave more of the yard space and only go out 12.
So that would be primarily because you want to preserve that green space a little bit. It's not, we don't need it or any seats or anything like that. It's just, let's not encroach on what's the minimum that's there. We can only go as far as that fence anyways. So it's not like we can expand that yard, okay?
I guess I'm kind of two minds about that. Are you thinking because of bocce?
I'm thinking bocce, the other events that could possibly take place. You know, if we're talking about doing outside events again, will there be things happening out on that lawn where we need the extra space? So not just isolated to bocce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually also think that if we're gonna go back to outside events, we need to make at least one of those an operable screen because of going in and out. If there's gonna be events that need to access the outside, even though that makes me nervous with all the bugs coming in. I think it would be necessary if we're gonna do those outside events. I will need to actually go out and step that off to see the difference between this and the next one. Because I need to see that space in order to, Can we do that now? Or no?
Can we walk outside?
Can I ask some questions?
Well, I mean, let's get an answer to this first though. I mean, probably,
We can, but we would want to not have any discussion,
Right,
and the public would be invited.
right, sure, of course. So,
If we wanted to hit as much as we could in here, I think that maybe we could finish our meeting.
Oh, I see
And just
it.
lay
I
out,
see.
I've got a tape measure that I
When
can.
you say no discussion, we can't ask questions about.
I'd rather, I mean, what's our timing?
you mean today?
Yes, are we making a decision today?
No.
Then I'd rather we do it individually. Just because of sunshine issue.
Some of us aren't here individually.
Oh, you mean
Now.
individually after the meeting?
Right.
So you could go first. Oh, yeah. Or we couldn't just pick up and take the teams with us and walk outside?
No, because we've moved.
I mean,
We haven't moved, we're still at the River Club.
we left the doors open. I'm trying to figure this out on the
We're
fly.
still here. We're
If
just
if
going in.
everybody is invited, we stay on the record,
Okay.
leave the doors open.
I
Okay.
take them with me.
Belinda, are you there?
I'm here.
Are you okay with that plan?
I'm fine, as long as we're still on the record.
Okay, let's do it. Alrighty, so, do you want to do that? You want me to do that? We're inviting everyone to step about 50 feet outside.
We're doing it right now, but do it.
And so we can ask questions if you all want to come? I have to see that. Yeah.
If you can, unless
No,
you.
no, no, I can't.
Probably.
They're making the decision. I'm not.
He refuted what they said. Well, he didn't think it was about the text. And so they said, yeah. I don't think it's even any information you want further in it. But I know Mary said it's not gonna be, supposedly, or she won't go, like whoever is that. It's going to be assessed. So it's not gonna cost us anything, which it may not cost us anything, but it will, but it will. Because they keep on. Now, we didn't get, because they keep borrowing, like some people just, you know, the president should be paid off this revenue, don't we have that finance up in that zoo. I mean, we're not gonna put wine up there. It's gonna be an upstairs? Yeah. Well, there's already an attic. Above the bar? Oh, right here. I think they're both there. In our children, we are. Studio. Is there always school up here? Always. I understand, but. People forget that one thing. We should be smart if that's always there. That's what they say. They use them, but one doctor, whatever said is that 51% said no. So I don't look at it. Don't want it. We should have. I mean, I can understand if you want to fix it up. Maybe the one needs to be, you know, maybe done or whatever.
I would even say screening that.
I think screening that is
Yeah,
a good
screening that.
thing.
They go to the fence.
I know, past the bocce, we're gonna have bocce walk whatever.
Screen that thing.
Screen it because in season, that's useless, because you get eaten alive by, seeing when you're out there. That's a great thing.
Who wants to not time the summer? They're not screened, right? It's not even in season. Yeah. That's like $2 million.
What they also have, to really utilize that, to get the bar, to really utilize, we're in Florida, to utilize their outdoors. The money that's spent on the restaurants, how they have those cooling machines, so that in the summertime, you can sit out there, and this is, it can be used.
We used to go to the bar in New York, and in the winter time, they had these stores.
Yeah, those, yeah, in Jersey.
And in the summertime, the doors went up. Why can't we do something like that there with screens so that we can screen it in? So that we don't get a red line.
So that it's not being used.
Right, no.
I know. Well, you know what it is? A handful of people are making decisions. And, I hate to put individual lives, but the way, they give everybody the impression that this was all approved. Because to your point, when the survey was sent out, they didn't just whip this up the next day. This was all planned.
Yeah.
And the survey might have been part of the, smoke and mirrors thing. If you said, yes, we could use a bigger car, they took that as a, go ahead. Yes, spend $1 million, spend $2 million.
One of my biggest problems is the fact that when you come to the bar, people are eating at the bar.
Yes.
First of all, they should not be allowed to eat at the bar, because that's what we say with our police that.
Yeah.
So if there are open tables in here, they should come in here and sit down, and they're not there, they should enforce that. Second, during season, why can't we get 2 bartenders there?
Because that would
be help.
Sit at a table and have a different one.
Exactly.
Everybody in the bar, refuse to open the door. I don't understand
They
that.
said they're gonna have to change the table or whatever.
Well, if you're sitting at your table,
Right.
your table, I want to sit at my table. Right, and have a table with you.
Oh, I see.
And they don't want you to sit there, but
Yeah.
no,
Because
they don't want you to do that.
Oh,
Barbara, we came here, Mike and Marion and Joe and I came up here during the, ravioli dinner. And, the horseshoe in here, we wanted to sit at the bar and drink. They told us we couldn't. But that's what we wanted to do. And you know my husband, he can be a royal pain in the ass. No, he says, no, I'm going to the bar, I'm gonna sit at the bar and have a drink there. I don't wanna sit there, I wanna talk to my friends.
Yeah.
So the 4 of us, we got up, we went over there, and we had drinks, and we sat at the bar. Good thing. But you're not allowed to come in here to have a drink, but you're allowed to have dinner over there. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense to me.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. And we're not full, ever. We're not full ever. And when they're sitting at the bar.
Well, yeah, and it's not even, we were up here for dinner at an event, and we had dinner, and dinner was over, we walked to the bar, it was like Saturday, at 10 to 8, right? It was 10 to 8, they had an event, 2 for 1 dinner or whatever, everybody's here, they had a very nice turnout, walked to the bar. Bar closes at 8 o'clock.
We're closing, you got 15 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
That's so you're gonna spend all this money now, and the bar closes at 8 o'clock?
Isn't that
Well, that's what we're just saying.
One for
We're
every
never
resident that lives
full.
here.
We are never full.
Where are seats in the bar?
Well,
I mean,
I didn't know that.
Wait, you got 16 seats around the bar. If you want to
Oh,
sit
yeah.
on the bar.
And
Who
then,
wants to do that?
yeah, and then above, I think those.
These are seats by the bar, right?
Those are bars.
Yeah, and these are
And these are
seats.
seats by the bar, and then you have 16 here that you can sit at the bar.
But who wants to sit at the bar? Most people want the row tables here, where they can sit around with people and talk. And here's 2 great big tables, and 2 little tables, and then they want to put tables out. You know what?
You can hear. I know, you're eating and you're hearing this, right? Clicking the balls because they're playing ball.
To me, the way we have
Right,
gave us the most seating
Right.
in the bar.
Absolutely.
And then some. Thank you, my friend. Oh, it's cold in here, let's go back out.
That's so different.
I'll fan you.
Yeah. Oh, no, I brought my own, trust me.
Talk to Amy. Amy. Fan lady.
My computer was so for being outside.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that.
That was very
That
helpful.
helped me a lot. And I, from, since we're still in meeting, I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah, please.
So I think that one of the things actually.
Stop the sidebars,
John,
please. Thank you.
We're still in session, please.
Still recording.
Joanne, we're still in session, please. Thanks.
So, John, one of the things that I would say is that I think we need to extend, but I would like to know if we're talking about 14 feet where pavers end now versus 20 feet or whatever it ends up being, I would want to know what that expense would be. Because for me, if it's, $1 million to go out to where the pavers end now, and then it's another 50,000 to go out the extra 6 feet, that's totally different than if it's another 200,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just need to have those numbers when we get to that point.
I think too, because Leah's done a lot of events and things like that, I'd be interested in your view on the lawn and if we, if the remaining amount is X, and don't look to me because I can't estimate distances, but if we do go that far out, remembering there's landscaping, does that make a difference in whether the outside's usable? I think that to me would be the other important piece of information for us to have for decision making. I mean, personally, I think that's going to become the center of gravity because of the bugs. So I favor making it larger and immediately, but I recognize there are other considerations.
You just need to know all of that.
I think if it related to specifically like bocce, for example, there's a court size, there's a minimum size between courts, and I've laid those out before. But if we go out that little bit further, does that eliminate because almost like one lane or one court because of that? So I could extend this plan out to the fence line to show really what can sit out there. If we put a tent out there or something, do we have 42 feet and a 45-foot, tent is what they need to put out there, and now we can't do a tent anymore, something like that.
When do you need a decision from us on whether it's a small, like today?
No, not necessarily today.
Okay.
I think I can be flexible with that because we're still in the design in here. And as we look ahead to schedule, we're trying to hit some dates in the fall here to get to a pricing set and then have time for the contractors to get us that pricing back. I believe that's before November, roughly was our target in there. So I could wait on that. I think as was mentioned, we will want to see the pricing for that.
So I like what's being done in the dining area. We've maintained the bar design the way it is. The dining area becomes more flexible with the dividers, rather than having something permanent there. Which, when we have large events, they're sold out. We need as much seating as we can get. So that's good. Just to be clear, in option 1 or 2, have we abandoned air conditioning this first level of space out here? We have, correct?
I thought we had.
We have.
I'm just confirming.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess John's understanding, it's just that copy
when I had spoken to John, he was still in the midst, and I wanted to get the copies. That's kind of my fault.
No,
Yeah,
there's
I wanted
no,
to get the copies made for the meeting.
there's no fault, I'm just looking
Yeah.
at the columns here
Yeah.
to see what happens. Okay. So that whole area becomes screened in.
Correct.
Lee, I have a question for you. If the outside screened area is, one course of tables, if you will, larger, does that somehow put us over, the edge in terms of, needing another body to service the area? Do you see that as a fundamental change of, 26 seats or whatever it is?
We would need another body for sure, but I don't see that as being a problem.
Okay.
And I just want to make a statement, and I just want to say, I think that the dividers is a wonderful thing, and the reason it is, and I've said this before, and I say Olive Garden, but Darden overall, if you think of restaurant services, when you all have been to restaurants, when you go into those type of restaurants, they have divided spaces. There could be 2 people in the building, there could be 100, and you don't really know the difference. So his divided spaces really gives us the opportunity to do that as well for the most part, whether it's in the La Sala space or out here. So I just wanted to comment that the divided spaces where we can move them is a great thing.
And is there anything else you would add in terms of operational? I mean, you and Shelley and I have talked it through, but is there?
Well, I think, I don't want to start asking a ton of questions, but there's 2 wells behind the bar, there's 1 server station, things like that, which we can
yes.
get into.
Yeah, behind the bar, I don't have all the equipment that's in here, but basically it was set up for a cocktail station for 2 bartenders, basically, on either side. Now, that could be, we could get 3, 4 bartenders in here. I don't think there's a need for that. And I think with the service being on the corner, we could have a single bartender working this whole bar, maybe at a little slower pace, depending on how busy and how that ramps up all of a sudden. We know that can happen at a certain time. But it would basically allow for somebody to handle this area and the La Sala and this area, and potentially they would take over any dining, cocktails and stuff to make there.
Can I make a small request? And maybe I shouldn't make a small request, but can you possibly do a rendering? I really like how you gave us options for the dividers, but like for a dance floor. All of these renderings, none of them show the dance floor. I know that it would be a movable space, but can you kind of give us an idea of what that could look like?
Yeah, do we have
The
the dance floor
dimensions.
right now?
Yeah, we'll lose it.
We do.
But we'll,
Yeah, do you know the dimensions? Or does Shelley know the
do you know the
dimensions?
dimensions of a dance floor? I don't remember. We'll get
Well,
that.
we have it. We can just go,
Okay,
yeah, we can give you before you go.
without setting it all up.
Yeah.
Have a party.
No, but that's a great point. I think that's one of the reasons why the flexibility matters.
Right.
Especially also if we do events.
Correct.
I think with the dividers and, even what I see here and, kind of seeing in the back of kitchen space, that 4th divider might be something that flows over to this area for certain things. A backdrop for the wedding party or an event, or even for you all sitting at the table. So it does give you that flexibility there.
I'm glad you recognized the additional operating expense, because it will be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a good walk, and it's
Yeah.
enough of a walk out to the pool, but when you're serving a lot of people out here now, our operating expenses could go up.
It'll definitely need more bodies, for sure.
John, was this plan for a speaker system to be here and outside?
We haven't really gotten that far.
Okay,
If we-
is that something we'll have to consider, because if you're gonna do outside events or even, you're not gonna keep these doors open.
Right.
And so the speaker system has to be consistent in both areas
Is dividable.
and dividable.
Yeah, live music and events, and I do think that with the operable screens out there, they do make no-seeing screens that are operable, and they seal, I would say, pretty good in there. It's not as good as a fixed screen. As much as vendors have told me, there's just too many variables. It doesn't close all the way, there's a little rock there, and these bugs find a way in, we know that. But reducing it significantly in there, and then there's other things that can come along with that, with seat spraying consistently and stuff like that to deter them. But I do think that I want to be in that space, and then when I want to go outside, or 75 of us want to go outside, we're going through a single door on either end. It wouldn't be as enjoyable, I think, when you can't open that up. And for the most part, it's open kind of all day, and drop down at certain times, if it's 4 o'clock in the winters, that thing drops down, and it stays down until noon the next day, I think that would make sense.
Just one other comment, I'm not crazy about the option 2, floor plan in the bar with a pool table or something. I think you lose more seating. I just think that's an issue. And it becomes noisier, rowdier.
It does, it adds a social activity to it in there.
Yeah.
But you would have to tell me, and you guys decide if we want to put a pool table, or shuffle table, or poker tables, or whatever back there. But if it at least is saying that you can do whatever you want with that.
Well, and I do think you make a really good point, Ken. I think when we get down to more nitty-gritty design, maybe the board should set aside some time to talk to staff. Whether it comes to, do we put tables there? Do we put soft seating? Should they be large tables? Because for example, we're finding out people are really liking large format tables. So maybe at the right time, the board can meet with staff to determine that.
Or, Leah, Jamie, people who have been in other clubs, what works,
Yep.
what doesn't work.
Yeah, yep, good.
As we briefly talked about equipment at the bar and what's back there, if that is something that could, I believe your team was working on that, putting together equipment. We can also have a lot of future equipment. At that point, we really need infrastructure for our floor sinks, floor drains. We know we're gonna have powered water into that bar wall out there. But I know when we move into engineering and pricing, what's going out there. The other thing is we talked about kegs and where that's going. Are those towers, draft towers going inside or on the outside of the bar here and here, or are we gonna keep them back in this location? And then how many taps? And that ties into some design stuff too. We think about taps are back there, point of sale stations, the TVs above, and how those are all kind of working together through there. Ice maker, are we putting an ice maker in the back here? And then we just have ice bins up front that we're kind of feeding those. All that's kind of more detail specific.
Yeah. At what point do you need that kind of feedback from staff? Because I can tell you, I see them hauling 5-gallon buckets of ice from the back out there. It's nuts.
Yeah, when we get through this design phase and into the pricing phase, we'll need to get all those specs for that.
Okay.
If we had an idea right now, just saying, we like the taps in the front. Some people like them because they like to look at people as they're pouring it, make eye contact, another one, okay. And kind of that route. Going to the back wall, I also know there's a function like through the wall feeding to the kegs that back there that can be easier. So probably that's maybe one of the biggest ones in here, probably just aesthetically. We're looking at a clean countertop up front or having taps up there.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for John? Anything else you need from?
So this access ladder upstairs, that would be one that could we deal with an alternating tread ladder or staircase or kind of ladder up to the second floor, or do I need to lay out a little bit more of a I can't do a full stair because that just takes up way too much room, and we never talked about that. We need access up there. But doing a typical stair would be kind of difficult.
You want to?
I think alternating tread is fine. We don't.
I'm not in favor of storing tons of stuff up there for many good reasons.
Me neither.
Okay.
That's why you were glowering at me.
I had talked about doors here, and I don't even know if I need to show this, or I'm gonna show up one day and the doors are already in here. But the doors going into this private dining or, out into this space would be the two. If I'm gonna show it on our plans, I'll show it one way or the other.
What would those be used for?
That's gonna be storage.
You know,
I could also.
remember all the stuff that was in the back of the thing that was here?
Yeah.
Kept them somewhere to put it.
And the stuff that's in there.
And you mentioned tables, and I don't know that we would be putting tables in these.
No.
No, this would just be for like centerpieces and stuff
Okay,
like that.
okay.
Chairs, most of chairs.
Chairs,
Yeah, okay.
I would say another option could be using the same doors that are there and putting an opaque, basically a film on one side. The doors would have to move. They swing this way now, so they would swing into the closet. So depending on, a glass windows and doors company would be able to tell us, could we take the doors on this side, rotate them, put them that side, flip it to the side, and then they open up into the room. So the frames don't go away, that all stay the same. And then we're basically building a panel or a wall on this side to kind of cover that up. That would be one of the, probably the easiest solutions to get some closet space out of that.
Okay. So what would be next? Or are you still working through your way through there?
So what I'm going to move forward with in terms of base design, I think is the smaller extension out there. So when I think about alternates and how we price those, and we have to be careful because when design development plans have a bunch of alternates, it's kind of like hit or miss what you really get on those if they really price it hard. But I would stay with what I would call the basis of design is what we kind of, our
The
first
12
option. Yeah, starting with the 12 foot. I think we didn't talk much about the exterior, especially the overhang, but if we were any comments on it, it would seem like maybe the overhang was the preference on there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Cindy, do you know which slide John's talking about?
No, can you flip to that one? I'm not quite sure which one he's talking about here.
It's in the deck that I sent you. It would be
Yes.
the last slide where you have an overhang versus a straight parapet.
Oh, yes, got it, okay.
The last two.
Right, last two slides. Overhang. We've got 3 overhang boats here.
I think that's
More classic.
very
I think.
attractive.
Yeah, and would help with rain, you said. So.
That's what I was
Little
thinking
bit,
as
yeah.
well. I like the look of this.
Yeah.
It's very classic.
One thing with the columns that are in there and eliminating those columns, I think that could be part of the alternate, is that the base design has them eliminated, a new roof structure. The alternate has them staying, but maybe reducing the amount in there.
Okay, so I think that's actually a critical thing, because that would also ultimately help us number seats as well, wouldn't it? If you're taking columns away, you've got more flexibility.
Yeah, I showed it right now around the same seating, but we know you probably know how to squeeze some seats in when necessary, right? Need 2 more tables out there, find a way, you'll make it happen.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I just think it also will look a lot, even the pictures show it very open without the columns
Right,
inside. I
right,
think this will have a totally different look if those columns stay.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. Just make sure here.
John, does the roof on the, the new roof with the 12-foot extension, I know we have, I think, a flat tar beach up there right now. Is it flat or it's the same type of roof?
It's the same type of roof, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a low slope roof right now.
Okay.
So you can call it flat roof, but they're not really flat. There's just a thin slope on that. And that truss line that goes out. Now, whether or not we sister trusses right next to it, attach the existing ones. So it can also almost be built in a phase of like extend this out and then come back and cut out the inside. That might be an option. That's more means and methods, but we'll have to get that into design documents as well. But you really won't be able to see this roof. That's the thing.
Is it metal or?
It would not be metal. It would probably be a TPO, which is more of a membrane roof. Which is what's up there right now underneath that parapet, you can't see it.
Right.
This roof, you won't be able to see this as well, especially depending on the size of this fascia. If I make this a little bit bigger and have a gutter line up top, you would not see that wrapping around. Now with the gutter up here though, you know, you don't have any gutters right now on those scuppers, so I imagine the water kind of shoots off through there. But we would have some gutters that would tie into this, so I'll have to work that into our design out here.
Okay.
More
And
function.
full disclosure, we're having our roof is gonna be completely replaced before this happens. So we'll just need to have some coordination is the word, yeah.
Okay.
Don't do this part of the roof.
Yeah, something like that, but,
I think you're exactly right. I think the coordination might be to pause on a portion of this, maybe from the ridge back. That gets left in place. Maybe
Yeah. So then in terms of what's next, because we meet every 2 weeks, so our next meeting is on the 14th of September, and after that it's the 28th and so on.
Correct.
Do we, is the 14th of September too soon? Or should we just keep it, you and I can touch base and then I can put it on the agenda? I just want to.
Too soon for a meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I would like to have it at that meeting that we would kind of tighten up what we've done in plan, tighten up what I've done on the exterior with this.
Yeah.
But more focused on the interiors. Similar, it might be more photorealistic renderings, I don't know, but focusing on what does the inside look like.
Okay.
So from this room, what am I looking at the bar in La Sala and go through that. That would be my goal for the 14th. I'm going to be working with our interior designer in that time frame. We've touched base on this project a number of times, but really haven't gone into some of that. I believe the following meeting, which would be the 28th, then I would push more towards having some finishes and some materials. They might be just digital presentation of palette, and then if we're okay with a palette, I would get those hard material samples that we could consider selecting.
Okay, good. Right, so I guess the only other thing we have sort of administratively, we've got to just, approve the proposal. We don't need to make Joan stay for that, 10%, but any other, just one other thing. You and I chatted over the weekend about time frame, not wanting to nail your feet to the floor, but I think in rough terms, we're still looking at kind of mid to late spring to start and then finishing kind of by the end of the calendar year.
Yeah, that's really what we had defined as our only window or preferred window for construction.
Yes.
And so getting going May 1 is the target.
Yeah.
And it's not demo and sit for a couple weeks, it's full permit, so demo a couple days and you're right into framing structure and kind of getting things working out there.
Because just for the sake of the other supervisors, I'm asking this question on the record for a reason. I think there's a fair amount of misinformation out there. The club is not going to be closed down. That rumor is out there. We're not going to have a full club closure. There will obviously be some impact on dining operations, but Leah and Shelley and the team are looking at how to do minimal disruption, and in fact, be a little bit creative with it, because they're doing that right now up at Laurel Oak, where Jamie has organized some things so that the revenue can continue, the access to the food service can continue, but it's this side of the club only. Nothing else is being touched, so just want that on the record, gang. Okay.
And we had talked with the contractor early on and got their perspective on how you would either phase this or do it in 2 different seasons. And he said, let's just do it all the time.
Just do it.
Just get some more bodies here and have an outdoor project and indoor project happening at the same time. And there might be temporary walls. Temporary walls can be an expense, but if there's value to that, maintaining and staying open makes sense. Kind of closing off that area over there, having temporary walls. It might extend out to half of this room. For sure, when we're replacing finishes and painting, those will be some tricky days to figure out, but no, then we had never discussed closing.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yes, I think you realize this, but you have to build into your timeline depending on where prices fall and such as RFPs and things along that.
Yes, absolutely. There's a whole sort of plan for that for sure. So that's definitely contemplated and appreciate you saying that. So good. Okay. So are we good? Okay. Awesome. I think we're good.
Great, all right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So same time on the 14th?
On the 14th.
Okay,
Got
great.
it.
Perfect. All right, so,
I may have the opportunity to.
Okay.
To see, I don't know where I'm gonna be.
what part of your whirlwind adventures that you're
I'm gonna be.
So maybe while John's doing that,
So this is September 14th?
yes. Because the two things that we need, we do housekeeping, we do need to do with respect to John, moving on to item, it's really technically 6G, which is consideration of the invoice for LaSalle Architect Services. I think we need to consider this against the, the overall contract that John has presented us with, which I think you've seen.
You presented an exhibit, I prepared a contract.
Yes, and John's proposal is an
Proposal.
exhibit to, do we need to make a motion for the approval of the contract for the services?
Well, what is it?
I would, for the record.
Okay,
Well, you're just doing the one invoice today?
yes,
Okay, there's something I want to talk to you about
okay,
before we do
okay.
that.
All right, okay, so then you're okay if I make a motion that we approve, which the supervisors have this, the invoice from Costera Design. Oh, John, you're gonna send that to me with the Venetian Community Development?
Yeah, just the invoice, right? It wasn't
Just the
necessarily-
invoice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can update.
Yeah, because the contract's prepared
Yeah.
with the district as the,
Yes.
yeah, it's,
And
your
then I did
proposal's fine.
receive the actual contract with my
Yes.
proposal being the exhibit.
Yes,
So
But I don't want to approve that today. if we don't
Fine,
have
no
to. I want
problem.
to talk to you about
no
something.
problem. Yeah, that's fine, in the interest of time. Then I'm gonna make a motion, that we approve Costera Design's invoice number 10009 in the amount of $9,950 for a 10% retainer.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Oh, Belinda, I took over, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
I got it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I can't help myself. Okay, good. John, thanks again. So we'll see you 11 o'clock on the 14th then.
sounds good.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks a
You're
lot.
gonna be getting a link to fill out the W-9 thing.
Okay, okay.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Okay, so should I turn back control to you, Belinda? Or I can do it.
I'm ready.
Okay.
And you have anything else to touch on this or no?
Yeah, did you,
Not at this time,
not
no.
at this time? Okay.
I'll talk to you about it
Okay,
outside the meeting.
okay, all right, no problem. No problem.
So do we move into the discussion and appointment of a supervisor to fill in seat number 5?
Yes,
We're
yes,
there.
I think we're there. All righty, are you running that or?
Oh, I can, whatever you like.
Well, why don't you run it, so it's,
Okay.
okay, do you mind?
No, of course not. Okay, board members, so you have a vacancy. As you know, Mr. Goodman resigned. I've read your minutes, so I know you already accepted that resignation. So the seat is open. So you are looking to fill that seat for the remainder of his term. And Belinda can correct me, but I believe that's through 2028. And with that, then 190 says that, as we've done historically, that it's up to you to fill that seat. There is no process that is outlined in 190 for doing that, so there's nothing you have to follow. You don't have to fill it within a week, a month, it's been a little while, but it's a good idea to have someone in that seat to have a full board for some of these quorum issues we've discussed. So I know that you put some quote feelers out there and you've got some interest, which is excellent. So it's just up to you how you want to proceed from here. As long as the process has some integrity to it, which of course it does and already has, it's really up to you as to how you want to proceed. You want to have discussion about the candidates, whether you want to make a decision at a later date. As I said, that is up to you. You are the ones that ultimately fill the seat though. And when you are ready, again, there's no set process. Different attorneys, different district managers like to handle it differently. I typically ask for nominations. So, using your example of Disney, I'll say I nominate Mickey Mouse, or I nominate Donald, how many for Mickey, how many for Donald, etc.
Okay.
And see where we go.
So do you all want to discuss?
I would like to start with discussion because I'd like to hear the other supervisors' perspective on the candidates and before we go to nominations.
And let me just add one more thing, which I think everybody realizes, but I'll say it for the record, is that we're not allowed to have secret ballots. So I know a lot of you are, of course, friends with different candidates, have social relationships. You may or may not want to voice your opinion, but unfortunately, sunshine law, no secret ballots. Everything is done in the open.
I always go first.
Okay, I'll start. So, talked to several of the candidates. I think there was one that I never talked to, didn't reach out, and vice versa. First of all, I think we have excellent submissions of intent candidates, a variety of backgrounds that would be good to balance out the board. Obviously, Rich Bracco has been on the board for a number of years, so he's familiar with procedure, budgets, background, history, brings a lot to the party that way. He understands our strategic plan. Generally, I don't find that he ever has an agenda, a personal agenda. Although I found that with all the candidates. I thought that was good, that nobody would be coming into the board saying, I oppose this project or that project, and then, it's not like the golf club scenario where people may have run just to make sure we didn't buy the golf club. Even though the golf club members all said they didn't want you to buy the golf club. I spoke to Gary at length, and Bob McGinn. Pardon?
Which Gary? Sorry, there's two.
Oh, sorry, Wine. Typically, I asked questions that to me got to their level of interest and really wanted to be on there, other than to say, gee, I'd like to be on the board. Making sure they understood what being on the board meant in terms of commitment of time and workload.
I don't mean to interrupt your flow. I just think it may be helpful for the record, since I just heard about the two Garys and such. Let's, if we could, just state how many candidates we have and what their names are. I think that might be helpful.
Do you want to do that?
Well, you got the mic.
All right, so we have 4 candidates.
Okay.
Rich Bracco,
Right?
Gary Wine,
W-E-I-N.
the B-E-I-N, Gary Barker, Barber, can't read my own writing, and Robert McGinn.
Okay.
M-C-G-I-N.
Thank you. I just think it might be helpful for everybody.
Sure, absolutely.
And Rich Bracco, of course, we know lives on Portofino. So any of the other 3 candidates would have to move to Portofino to be elected at the board. I don't know why they didn't make me move, but they didn't.
Because you're special.
Oh, thanks. Again, Rich brings history, background, no agenda, familiarity. That can be both good and bad. good in terms of some of the issues that we're facing. I won't say bad, but maybe too close to some of the issues we're facing. So there's that side of it. My conversation with Gary, very conversational. I think his attitude and approach and interest being on the board were sincere, and I think he would bring a different perspective to the board, but I think the chemistry would work well. Bob McGinn I talked to, and similar, but a little less of some background and familiarity with board activities. But all in Gary Barber, sorry, I'm just not that familiar with. So I think you're just looking for opinions at this point, or comments.
Yeah. Sim, what about you?
Yeah, so I kind of took the approach of, from a perspective of who's interested and how forthcoming were they. And I had two candidates, both Rich Bracco and Gary Wine, reach out to me. And I concur with what Ken had to say about Rich Bracco. And the fact that, he's got a good history and he's got a great track record with the CDD, with all of his experience and everything. And while that's a good thing, sometimes that's not such a good thing, right? And then I had an extensive conversation with Gary Wine, and I liked what he had to say as well. I liked his perspective, his freshness on issues. Gary Barber did not reach out to me, nor did Bob McGinn. So I never had the opportunity to speak with them. So my opinion all along has been, if you're really interested in the position, please come to me and not only tell me why you're interested, but also ask my perspective. And so, like I said, Rich Bracco comes with a lot of experience and he's got that track record. Gary Wine is a fresh start. And that's kind of the way I'm looking at things right now.
Do you want to go?
Sure, you can go next to the
Okay,
chair.
I'll go last.
The chair, you can go.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I actually, two of the candidates reached out to me, and that's Gary Wine and Rich Bracco. I did, however, speak to all four candidates at length. And I will say, I'll just go down my list in the order that I talked with them. But I talked to Gary Wine first. I think Gary's got a great background, especially with his experience in Punta Gorda and some of the projects that he ran down there. And I also liked his, I asked each candidate what they really want, to achieve. And he's looking at the value to his home and this community and making sure that we continue to improve our value and people enjoying living here. Rich Bracco also reached out to me, and I agree with Ken and Cindy. And, obviously he is a drop-in candidate. He's been here, he was the chair for years. He knows how the board operates. He has a lot of historical knowledge, which is often very good. And, I think, and we know Rich, so I mean, that's not an issue. I talked to Bob McGinn at length, and he has some good experience as well. No experience in a government-run organization, but seems to be a person who can really work with people, understanding people, and kind of how to read a room and that kind of thing. He has been on the Willow Chase board or HOA, but I think he had some issues in the Willow Chase board, which he didn't share specifics on, which is neither really here nor there, but he had worked a lot in the hospitality section. Gary Barber I spoke with at length. I called him, and my big issue with Gary Barber, I think he had some really good experience, a lot of engineering experience, a lot of growth in his professional career. He's been here only about a year in this community and is still, I think, trying to figure out all the components of the community. POA versus CDD versus community association, who does what and where those issues lie with each of those. We talked a little bit about him kind of, getting a little more experience maybe in the community before dropping into a board position and maybe working on other committees or working on a committee before he does this kind of thing. So I kind of come down to, for me, the candidates that I think would fill this role very well would be either Gary Wine or Rich Bracco. And again, I agree with Ken, they come with differing. One is experience, ability to drop in, do the job. The other thing I liked about Gary when I spoke with him is he would see this as a longer term commitment. He wants to do this like 2 years and then run again. And so I think new ideas is good, and I think longevity in the position. I also am not looking for someone new to come in for just 2 years and then go, gosh, that's not what I want, because I think we need experience on this board, especially with things like budget. So that was a very long way of me giving my opinion about all the candidates.
I appreciate all of that. It's very helpful, and I agree 100%. I was able to meet all 4 of them. Well, Rich and I spoke on the phone, but Gary and I talk all the time anyway. But yes, we had a great chat. I sat down with both Bob McGinn and Gary Barber over here, and I agree with you. I see both of them. As a matter of fact, I was almost jumping out of my skin to say to Bob, well, I could think of some committees for you. But I think I came down to the same place, and I think if you don't mind, I'd be interested to make a nomination, because I think that the critical point for me with Gary is exactly what you said. Gary Wine is exactly what you said, Cheryl, is that I think Gary Wine understands the long-term timeframes of getting stuff done, which, as we know, is sometimes glacial. I'm deeply appreciative that we got as many nominations or as interests as we did. In fact, I got a phone call several days after the deadline saying, can I still apply? So I think it's good for the community to see that we have a combination of people with long-term knowledge and then people coming in as new faces and new voices on the board. I think it's good for the community. So for that reason, I would like to nominate Gary Wine to fill supervisor seat 5.
I would second
My
that
nomination. Do you need seconds on the nominations? You don't? Oh, we just make a nomination. Okay.
But I heard a second.
Okay.
So now the question is, are there any other nominations?
Okay, Andy, are we going through nominations in total, or?
No, I mean, as I said, and Belinda's not in the room with me, but different district managers and attorneys handle it, in different ways because there's no set process. So the way I typically do it is see if there are any nominations. And as I said before, I nominate Mickey Mouse. Are there any other nominations? I nominate Donald. So we have 1 nomination so far for Mr. Wine. So then my question is, are there any other nominations? I'm not hearing any. Is that correct? Nobody has any other nominations? Okay. So then I guess then we'd just be looking for a motion to appoint, before I do say that, Belinda, did you have something you wanted to add? Sorry.
No, I just wanted the board to consider whether or not Mr. Wine is available for meetings. Is he going to be available, or is he going to be via Teams?
Full-time resident, you mean? that kind
He's
of
well,
thing?
he's in the room right now, and Gary and I have, actually, it's one of the things Gary and I did talk about is meeting availability. I talked to all the candidates.
Year-round resident?
Yeah, yes, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's waving, Melinda. You can't see him.
I think he lives in Portofino too.
And he does live on Portofino.
Ken, are you feeling a little slighted here?
Ken has 2 houses.
Yeah, neither am I. No, you should.
Okay, Melinda, I'm sorry, did you have anything else that you wanted to add or comment on?
Okay, so we do have a motion by Jill, second by Sid. Is there any further discussion?
And just so we're clear, the motion is to appoint Mr. Wine, excuse me, I learned it. To a motion to appoint Mr. Wine for the remaining term of Mr. Goodman's seat, which is seat number 5. Okay. It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so I think that's 4-0.
Thank you.
So,
So I would normally say, come on down, but I don't know if we have anybody to swear him in.
No, I'll actually travel this week to swear him in. So we'll do that before the next meeting.
okay.
Joanne is a notary, by the way.
So is Leah.
Oh, okay. So,
I don't have my stamp with me, but yes.
Yeah.
What do we need, a notary?
And the oath.
Yeah, we need.
Belinda
The
would,
oath of office, we can work it out. It's
Okay, all right. Be
so,
available, Gary.
so with that, then I think that we should punt on your next agenda item. So once we have our new board member fully seated, then we can look at the officer structure.
Yeah, yes, okay, so we'll do that.
Have the consideration of resolution 2026-10, redesignating officers of the district. This is behind tab number 10 for your review.
Right, Belinda, we were just discussing potentially waiting on that until we have our new board member fully seated, since he's not yet, since he hasn't been sworn in. Are you okay with that?
Do we want to just appoint him as an assistant secretary?
But he's not, he hasn't taken his oath yet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm suggesting we wait on this until the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So 9/14, okay.
And board members, just so you know, which I think you do, anytime you reconstitute the board, you're required to look at your officer structure. You don't necessarily have to make any changes unless, of course, one of those officers have left, but you are required to at least look at the structure. But I do think it best, once the person is fully seated, so we'll wait until the 14th if you're all on board with that.
Sure. Okay. All right.
All right, perfect. So we're going to move into the discussion regarding the relocation of the magnolia trees. Cheryl, we're going to turn this over to you.
Yes. So we all have talked about the fact that the magnolia trees on this entryway on the street have not done well because they're getting choked out by the pitch apples. And so Keith and I have gone to visit several areas that are common areas in the community that people are concerned about because they don't have irrigation and the grass gets burned out. And what we would like to do is move those 6 magnolias to the common areas on Valenza Loop, and 2 on one side, 4 on the other, and water them with water bags until they take, and then let them go, because they're not gonna get better out here. They're just getting choked.
I'll even go for it.
So and we can put some of the soil down that traps the water, put the water bags on them.
Yes.
And so we move all 6 of those.
Yeah.
The pitch apples should fill in nicely. If we see that the pitch apples are struggling, we'll just drop another pitch apple in there to fill it in, but that's what I would propose.
Sounds like a plan. Do you look for a motion?
Are you giving me a side eye? Oh.
I thought the same thing.
I know, I was like, is that a side eye?
I don't have any commitment to those magnolias.
So that's my motion, that we move those 6 in the area that I spoke about.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All
Does
right.
Belinda know about 6K? Okay, so Belinda, we, at the beginning of the meeting, Andy kindly added, we added an item on a resolution for First Horizon Bank so that we can get a couple of credit cards issued. You may recall that we did a resolution in the past, but it didn't sufficiently do the trick.
So Belinda, I think you were still logging in, but at the beginning of the meeting, we had a motion to amend the agenda to add this item as item 6K, and that was approved. So that's what brought us to where we are.
Okay.
I haven't seen the resolution.
Okay, so, I think we'll just have to kind of construct.
We'll have to draft it and have Andy approve it
Okay.
before you sign it, Joe.
Okay, understood. So, but it will want to appear in the minutes for the purposes of the bank. So that they, based on appearing in the minutes, it will, unless we just send in the resolution, which we can do stat, I guess, but, the motion would be to approve, 2 credit cards at First Horizon Bank. And they have to be done in people's names. So one is in the name of Leah Warner, and the limit on that, did we agree on 5,000? But in the limit of $5,000, and the second would be in the name of James Lujan, Lujan, in the amount of $500.
They have to be a name.
Yeah, in the resolution, it needed to be, we need to actually name them.
So if we have a personnel change.
That they expire in 90 days when people leave.
Yeah.
So
That's on us.
that was the little joke.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of, it was a bit.
Yeah.
So, anything else we need to do with that? Or
I'm not sure, does the bank have a form resolution that they
Well,
are requiring?
500 is a small amount, like, James is what, food and beverage manager?
No, James is
Maintenance.
maintenance. But I agree with you, Belinda, now that you said that, I agree. Even for maintenance, if he needs,
Jamie says that's too low as well.
yeah,
Oh.
Jamie just chimed in.
yeah. So what does Jamie recommend?
Jamie, what do you recommend?
Well, for facilities maintenance director, I mean, some of the stuff you might have to buy on a regular basis could, I mean, easily get into the thousands before payments have been applied to bring that balance back down. So if the GM limit's gonna be 5, I mean, maybe Jim's at 2,500.
I would keep
That's
to
what
what
Jill
we
said,
have
25.
in the resolution for Keith and his team, which is $1,000.
Jamie's saying 2,500 because of equipment purchases.
For building maintenance.
Yeah, it's kind of a different situation than we have here.
It's really up to you as a board, but we keep to $1,000 and over. But
So Jamie's recommending 2,500. Are you, I'm okay with it, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Leah, are you okay with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jim will run everything through me anyway, so any big purchase, he's gonna run through me.
Yeah.
Then how do those get approved ultimately?
Ooh, that's a Jamie question, or a Leah question. How do,
That's
you mean like when the credit card
That's an
bill comes
incandescent
in?
question.
It is, it absolutely is. How do we, so for example, I think what Ken is asking is if, you know, Leah runs up $4,000 worth of credit card charges, do we,
Well, they can't, if we shut off at 2,500.
no, I said
It's
Leah,
got
she's got
5,000.
5. But do we, it wouldn't just be a single line pass through of $4,000. Would we see the detail on a routine basis?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. So we'll establish what's called a P card reconciliation with Carol. My recommendation would be anytime Leah or Jim is using that card, as soon as they have the receipt, the invoice in whatever manner, via email or just a direct copy, that's sent to either Pat or Carol. So there's an immediate kind of reconciliation of charge where that charge is being coded to, and then payments can be applied accordingly. You know, what typically happens is if you wait too long, 2, 3, 4 weeks, especially with the $2,500 limit, that card's going to get maxed out pretty
It's a
easily.
great
Especially right now, there's a lot going on. A lot of things are needed for the club. So, Jill, to answer your question directly, we will put together a P-card reconciliation. Leah will have to review and approve all of that. It would then be submitted to Pat and Carol, and it could be submitted and reviewed by the board if that's needed, but
Yes.
I don't know that that would be required, but that could be chimed in on with Carol.
Yes, I think it would be required, given our.
Yeah, we want that.
Yeah, I don't know if the board has to do it, but given our history with prior management companies, we need
Like a monthly reconciliation.
a reconciliation.
Yeah, monthly.
It's got to be visible somewhere.
You know how we see the expenses, the Rosetta prepares that expense
Yes.
sheet? That would be nice to see that same kind of thing monthly at our board meetings for the P cards.
Yeah, and you know, Jamie, on that, Belinda, when we had first started, I guess I'll say having some issues, Belinda had kindly mentioned that with Rosetta, they actually had ask the folks who hold the credit cards have to sign something saying, you know, they're gonna behave with it. Not a bad thing. So,
Sure. We
don't know whether you have a
can
standard, but.
And typically what would be done is a monthly total reconciliation.
Okay,
So, you know, 1 page, 2 page, that defines every expenditure, where it was coded, what its need was, et cetera. I'm not sure what we're using at other clubs right now, but I'll get all that detail and then share it with Leah and you, Jill.
Okay, great.
Jamie, within Hampton, who's approving those credit card bills?
It would typically be, excuse me, your primary accountant, which would be Pat, with oversight to Carol, and probably I would be in the mix as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got 3 levels of approval.
So Jill, my question is, what is it that First Horizon needs so
So
that we're
what-
sure we accommodate?
What First Horizon needs is, so the minimum credit, blah, 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 the board should list the names of the 2 individuals who will receive the cards. So that's what we need. I think we need something in the minutes saying the board authorizes.
So we don't need a separate.
I don't think we need a resolution. I think we need something in the minutes saying,
Operation.
that I make a motion that First Horizon issue 2 credit cards for the River Club, one in the name of Leah Warner for $5,000, and the second limit, and then the second in the name of James Lujan, Lujan, in the amount of $2,500.
Okay,
As long as that's in the minutes, that'll work.
okay.
So they say.
So we have
Do
a
you need a
motion.
copy of our photo IDs? Do you not look at it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Carol will know. Don't know. Carol had kind of taken.
Anybody want to second that motion?
Second.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye. Okay, great. Thank you so much for doing that. It's, Jim will be celebrating. It's been not easy for him to get his work done. So, okey dokey. Oh, I think we're heading for
No
the.
charges from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, really.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, that's not really a joke,
That's not a
actually.
joke.
Oh, no,
Or sushi,
okay.
or Publix, it'll.
Whatever that may be.
All right.
Yeah.
So we do have the reconsideration of the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting held on July 13, 2026. These are behind tab number 7 for your review.
Okay.
What is reconsideration?
Well, there was some, Belinda, you explain it. It had to do with AI or something, right? Was this the one with all it had misspellings and other things in it, right? I had a whole lot of changes. After we approved it, I didn't realize how,
I sent a few changes to Belinda
Yeah.
last week too.
so those were all corrected. There was name misspellings, there were, I think it was whatever, but I don't think it was anything substantive.
Mine went up.
No.
There's little typos. Can I just say that line 196, there is no 12 in?
12th, and above it, the motion, the board accepted there was the resignation right there. That was one of the changes I made.
Right.
Because the consent items was the motion box ahead
Yeah,
of
I
it.
had a whole lot of changes, but Belinda has those.
Okay.
So I had sent, that was one of my changes. I had sent a few. I did not see 12th, so.
It's not a big deal. But I had to actually check myself. Yeah. So all good.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
As amended.
The reconsideration of the minutes as re-amended.
Is reconsidered.
Yes, that'll work.
Is there a second?
Second.
Not sure who's conducting this, so all in favor.
Please say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
All right, we'll do a team work.
it takes a village, Andy.
That's right.
Okay. All right, Belinda, take it away. Oh, is she there?
Linda, are you there?
Should we move on to the
I'm
consent?
here.
Oh, go ahead.
All
We're on the
right, so
consent
we're moving
items.
to consent items. There are 5 consent items for your review and acceptance. Any questions and or changes?
And I'll make a motion that we accept them as presented.
Second.
All right, so there's a motion by Jill,
Second.
by Cheryl.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
I just have a question, no discussion about this, but it's related. If committees are just having workshops because they don't have a quorum, but they're keeping minutes, should those be submitted for approval, or you wait till the end when they have a meeting and approve their own minutes?
It has to be a quorum to approve them, right?
Correct, it has to be
So
four.
we have to wait,
Till they've approved.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, yes.
But you are supposed to keep minutes of
Even if,
workshops.
Yeah, we
it's a workshop, just like we
Finance
keep
committee, we're
minutes
keeping
for.
minutes of the workshops,
Yes,
but haven't turned them in here because they
Because
haven't,
they
we
haven't
haven't
approved.
closed out those.
I understand, and I think you're correct.
Okey-dokey. All righty, so did I make a motion?
We did.
I seconded.
Oh, I didn't.
And second by Jill. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Supervisor requests or comments? Are there any supervisor requests or comments?
Yes, this is Cheryl, and I have 2 quick things. One is, there's a bunch of new plantings on the Medici berm, which are very nice, and the sod will go in the next 1 to 2 weeks on the berm. So that is we're starting to get some progress there. My last question is, do we have any new applicants for facilities committee? Because we have 2 vacancies now.
I think we should consider approaching either Bob McGinn or Gary Barber.
I was
I'd love
actually,
to approach Bob.
I was going to approach people. I just wanted to know if Belinda had gotten any letters of interest.
I did. I got one from Rich Goodman,
Okay,
which I want to send over. I can send over. That's the only one I have.
okay.
You have 2 openings.
Okay, if you could send that to me, Belinda, that would be great. Thank you very much. All right, I have direction.
Okay. I guess the only thing I'm wondering out loud is we have 3 people who were not selected, and I think the neighborly thing to do is to put in a call to the other 3 as a courtesy, which I'm happy to do.
I'll do that. I
You'll do
mean,
it?
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. And,
Okay, thank
and then
you.
we will also be having a vacancy on facilities, right?
No,
I mean, on finance.
rackets.
And we have that filled.
It'll be rackets.
It'll be rackets.
Cheryl, yeah, it'll be racket.
Okay,
You're gonna have a tennis player on the board again.
right, I'm talking about the vacancy in November, Byron. Your vacancy.
No, we have that.
Oh, you have that one filled too?
too?
Got it. Got it.
Just a lady.
Ooh,
Lady
yay.
Lots.
She is.
So it is rackets, you're right, okay. All right,
Yeah. Okay.
So we actually have 3
would be, some of these terms are
And I still have a vacancy
gonna
on FPAC.
January, right?
Yeah, we have 2.
So should we be putting out a request sooner than later to see who wants to be on the committee starting in January?
those will go out as a matter of course because we all
Okay,
have
all right.
people who are expiring.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Terms.
But right now,
The terms are expired.
terms are, not people, sorry, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Sorry, that was bad. But we will, so right now though, we have a vacancy on FPAC, we have a vacancy on rackets and 2 vacancies on facilities, right? Is that right, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you. Well,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
will make calls to the 3 people and we'll see if they're interested in any of those committees, if that's okay with you, Cindy.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
I'll
Cheryl.
take care of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there any other supervisor requests or comments?
I'm thinking about it. Just thinking about the committees, but maybe I'll think about it some more and we can talk at the September meeting.
Okay, well, on my end, I do have to announce that I am going to be going on medical leave, personal leave, for the next couple of weeks. I do have to have surgery this week, which is gonna be on Thursday, and I will be out, projectedly 4 weeks. So 4 to 6 weeks, I wanna say, but I will be working remotely, after 2 weeks of being back home. In the event that you do need something, Carrie and Jackie are gonna be available, but Melissa Dobbins, my regional district manager, she's gonna be assisting as well. So if there's anything that I cannot do or Carrie and Jackie cannot assist with, she will assist with. So if there's anything that happens, I don't foresee that anything should, but if anything happens, you can definitely reach out to her during my time out.
Hey, Belinda, take care of yourself.
Yeah,
All
Belinda,
please.
and we're all
Yes, Belinda.
shaking our head no when you say you're gonna start working from home in 2
2
weeks.
weeks.
So please take your
Correct.
time recovering.
Please take care of yourself, Belinda. You're far
Yeah.
too loved and valued and all the other superlative things to do anything other than take the best care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you all so much.
Yeah. Listen, best wishes. Take care.
I will, I'll keep in touch with everybody. We'll see how everything goes, but I'm pretty hopeful that everything's gonna go the right way.
It
So,
will. It will.
It will, just
It
give
will.
yourself time to
Yes, give yourself
recuperate.
time.
Yep, just be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Can I ask one question before we
Yeah,
adjourn?
yeah.
Just direction for me. I would normally be here at a meeting on the 14th. We have a shade meeting on the 28th.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be at both. Just whatever you need. Just want to make sure I'm here for you.
Can we move the business meeting? Oh,
Yeah, and he's gonna be my backup while I'm gone.
Well, I mean, the only thing we might need at the 14th is if there's anything we have to approve, but I can't think of anything.
No, we'll handle the advertisements and everything before I go on leave.
Right.
So I'll make sure that everything's done. But, for the shade meeting, Andy just has to handle the court reporter. Are you gonna do that, Andy?
Yeah, I'll get a court reporter. That's fine.
So then we're talking about then the business meeting.
Well,
will
do
be
you want me on the
second.
14th and the 28th, which is fine, I can do.
Or
I'm
do
just-
we just do a workshop on the 14th with the architect coming back and then do the business meeting on the,
That's what I was thinking.
Probably
Cheryl.
because, Ken's gonna be gallivanting in Europe somewhere, so.
that would make
Must
it
be
There's
easier.
no
nice.
water left in the river.
I think it'd be easier to have the workshop on the 14th.
Okay,
agree.
yeah, so
And
then
then-
we'll start at 9:30 on the 14th, so we can all sleep in.
So then I'll be here at 8:30 on the 28th.
Yes.
We'll do our shade and then we'll do our business meeting after that. Is that the plan?
And I should be back for the shade meeting, but let's hope and pray that I'll be there. If not, I can attend by phone.
Yes. Again, take care of yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
please, please,
I will.
please, yeah.
Okay, so I will not be here on the 14th.
You and I will talk to see if I need to be physically here for the shade meeting.
Did you not?
Well, I know I don't have to be,
Right.
but should I be?
Understand.
And Ken, thank you again for flying down there to take care of the meeting today. I appreciate it.
I'm happy to do it. Sorry, the circumstances that led to it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Our
you.
thoughts and prayers are with you and your families and.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
Take care of yourself and your family too.
Okay, cool. All right then, so, do you want to sign us off
I'll
for,
make a motion to adjourn.
okay,
All right, I think we're good. That
second?
was Ken.
Oh, second it?
Second.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, thanks.
I don't want Ken to leave, no.
Adjourned at 12:45 here.
We made it.
Thanks, Belinda.
Thank you, Belinda.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, best wishes.
Thank you.